I run very slow.
Well, once you start doing operations, you're gonna want to fail on Saturdays too.
Oh yeah.
I only missed one operation since I graduated as like out of all task forces.
Can't say that
Sure,
about
man.
me. Sergeant Smith,
You have
how
a
you
gun.
Evening, Sergeant.
I love the uniformity we have here.
Say again.
I still love the
Sorry?
uniformity we have here. We're all alike.
Yes.
Sergeant Smith, I'm almost ready for the control towers if we go in them. Enough medical supplies to raise a...
What?
Almost ready for the towers if we happen to go in them.
Alright, so...
Got enough supplies to raise a platoon, but I couldn't find a parachute.
Looks like the Liberation mod is active.
Okay.
Alright, is that what you have on Providyanovich?
Oh, holy crap. Wait a
We'll
minute.
deal with it. Don't worry about it. It's
Sure, I
not
can-
gonna...
It will take me maximum 1 minute.
No, don't even worry about it. Just... remember that
I played the Liberation server last night, so...
Yeah, just remember this for Monday. And... Yep. Alright. So welcome to day 3, gentlemen. It is going to be a lot of me talking, you listening, hopefully asking questions if you do have them. Let me know if I go too fast. So we're going to go over, at the end, breaching and clearing. I'm going to do a little classroom discussion with grids, contour lines, terrain features, how to read them on a map, how to use them to your advantage, and how to keep the enemy from using them to their advantage. Because obviously, if you can use it to your advantage, they can also use terrain features to their advantage. We will be going over micro daggers, how to use them, and why they are so good for you to utilize. We'll go on over OP4 and Blue 4 vehicles. We're going to go over mounting and dismounting procedures for Blue 4 vehicles, which will be 2 airframes, the Phoenix and Phoenix Heavy. The mounting and dismounting for a vehicle, which is a 6x6 MRAP Cougar, which is pretty nice. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. It's got a Mark 19 GMG and also the Modus Browning 50 cal. Those 2 weapon platforms we run on those Vics. We're going to go over buddy teams and how the buddy teams that we use in a unit, being a fire team leader and auto rifleman, the grenadier and the rifleman, how that comes into play with being responsible for a Vic, also mounting and dismounting a Vic. We're going to go over vehicle security, the dismount basics, different types of dismounts. So it's going to be a lot of information thrown at you. So let's get this show on the road. Anybody else have comments, questions before we start today? Sergeant Smith?
No.
All right.
Take good notes today, gentlemen.
All right. Yep. Follow me. Let's get into the classroom. Well, actually, follow Specialist McCoy. He's going to take you to the supply sergeant. Let's get kitted out because we're going to need micro daggers. So get them kitted out. It don't matter who's team lead today. It's not really a necessary thing, but let's get kitted out get them their freaks set up, and let's get them to do a quick radio check with each other. I'll be right behind. All right, follow.
Wilco, sir. Following.
Yep.
How's it going, big man gamer? I forgot what's wrong with my chat. Why is it not? I'm just playing.
Don't forget to grab your radio and vectors from the boxes. Sergeant Margette, I'm lined up in pre-combat over here.
Yes. Let's do that, and let's get a quick radio check, and we'll move into the classroom. Pending if it's a successful radio check.
Alright, there you go. Now my chat's displaying.
When you're ready, go over to the flags, line up in your pre-combat formation.
Oh shoot, another one there. Okay. Whoop.
So they're both ARs, apparently. Alright, one
Who
to
would you
get-
tell? Yeah.
Told them to decide amongst themselves. Bets, go. Right, there you go. Go grab fire team lead.
I'll let Ionovich take the fire team lead tomorrow, Sergeant.
Well,
Y'all
wait.
both taking them.
Oh crap.
No escape.
Oh yeah. How's it looking like on your side then? Ain't nothing messing up or anything like that? If you can, try to have Twitch open as well on a different page.
Alright, privates and ready. Come around the corner, get your fire team file, and pre-combat checks.
Yep. Do all that prepping in your fire team file. Line up right in front of me.
Pre-combat checks.
Yep. Do all that There you prepping. go. Yep. in You your don't have to fire wait for team him. file. You can make your spot. Ionovich, he'll fall in.
Private Ionovich, this is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100.1. How copy?
Wrong net, private.
Wrong net, bets.
Oh, frick.
Remember, switch it back to channel 1 once you're done setting your alternate.
Roger, specialist. Private Ionovich, this is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Private bets this Sayanovic radio 5x5 on frequency 100.1 over.
Private Ionovich, this is Alpha. Copy. Out. You have all...
So Ionovich, remember, he is calling station as Alpha whenever you're talking to the team lead. Always use their calling station. But other than that, very nice.
Do one more with me, Bets, and we'll get in the classroom.
What do you want me to refer to you as, Sergeant? Actual?
Yes.
Actual, this is Alpha. Radio check on frequency 100. Over.
Alpha, this actual have you Lima Charlie on frequency 100. Over.
Actual, this is Alpha. Solid copy. Out.
All right. if you want to finish doing that dance, yeah, there you go. Just hit an arrow.
Hey,
All right.
Amish. Oh, sorry.
Good, proceed. Hopefully you're doing what I'm thinking you're doing.
Hey, Amish, you have your equipment, your right. Well, obviously
I'm
your
good now.
radio, but your earplugs, your bandages, your kit.
I'm all set.
Copy.
Yep. Yep. Use the left alt to look around, so you don't have to swing your body around. Because when you are in a formation and you got people next to you, when you swing around like that, it'll start throwing people out of formation. All right.
Roger, sir.
All
I
right.
liked it. I liked the initiative.
Yeah, that way. You
All right,
could
let's get
do
to the
both at the same
classroom.
time.
Let's get this portion done. All right, follow out to the classroom, Alpha. Let your buddy. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way.
Hey,
Let
Milius.
your buddy know what's
Sergeant
going on.
Milius.
Private Aryanovich, follow up to the class.
Congratulations, by the way.
Copy that, Alpha.
Better rate that middle high and high.
Classroom or
High and
bubbles.
tide.
Don't forget about your covers. Take them off.
See if we get this thing enabled from over here.
So that's one thing particular about it's fucking buddy teams and communication between the buddy teams.
You're welcome.
Had a little issue with that on day 4 last time for Alpha. I
How's
was
Savage
chasing my
1-3
buddy
going?
member around instead of fighting because there was no communication.
Huh.
So let each other know when you're moving, where you're going, and what you're doing. 2 is a hell of a lot better than 1.
Copy, Sergeant.
Copy. Alright, so we're going to go over land nav. If you don't mind, Sergeant, get to the next slide, please. Alrighty, so on your map, if you press M, gentlemen, you have vertical and horizontal lines. The horizontal, which is left to right, is called the easting lines. Your vertical lines are called your northing lines.
So what?
Now, the way you read a map is left to right, bottom to top. So you're moving in the east direction when you're reading, and you're moving in a northern direction. Next, thank you. All right, so we're gonna go
Is this better,
over
Milius?
a 4, 6, and 8-digit grid.
Yeah, it's my mic, sir. My mic is
4
quiet
digit
on OBS on.
will be 1,000
I
meters
probably might need to go back to XSplit.
square. So if you give out a 4-digit grid reference, somebody can pinpoint your location into 1,000 meters, which is not that fucking accurate. A 6-digit grid, you get a little bit better. You get that accuracy down to 100 meters square. But in Armor, we can get it. We can get it
Scratch that.
a bit more accurate with a 8-digit
I'm fine with cussing.
grid ref. That takes a little bit more work,
It's fine on here.
but it is very easy
yeah, I tolerate
to
it.
get and
I think I get it.
understand.
Well, thank you, Milius.
So, in
Does it
order to
sound
get
better
a
now?
4-digit grid reference,
But yeah, I'm big on
you
gaming.
can scroll in,
I'm fine with the cussing on chat. need
and
to
when
remove
you
that
see double digits for your top reference and double digits on the side reference on your map, you have a question, Bets? Probably Bets?
Roger, Sergeant. The 8-digit
But
grid
yeah,
is
Milius,
within a
how's
10
how's
meter.
Havoc 1-3 going?
Correct.
Grid
Did I
reference.
not?
Okay.
I didn't say that, did I?
No, Sergeant. I was just clarifying.
All right. Yep. So
Roger.
you can get down to a 10 square meters, which is pretty damn good. All right. So if you look on your maps, if you scroll in and you have double digits on your top, bottom sides, that will allow you to get a 4-digit grid reference. So if we're looking at Camp Currahee, and we have the northwest gate here. That northwest gate is in grid reference 1416. So, since it's a known object, if you gave a four-digit grid reference, that's sufficient enough, because once they get to that grid, they'll see northwest gate, so they know exactly where it's at.
Alright, let me know. Is that better? It's showing red. I hope I'm not
Now,
that loud.
if we wanted to get even more accurate on that northwest gate, we can scroll in until we get 3 digits on top, 3 digits bottom, and 3 digits on the sides. And that will get us into 100 meter square.
Am I too loud or is it just perfect?
The grid reference for that northwest gate and that 100 meter grid ref
Alright, so
will
let's go back to our
be
conversation.
grid
How's
ref
Havoc 1-3 going?
142164. So that brings us down to 100 meters. Now,
Yep.
since I don't have a map tool, I am going to fucking wing this here. We can you break down that grid into tenths, and that will get you your 8-digit grid reference.
Is that
So we
better?
already know the 6-digit, so that's 142164. Now, in order to get the
Yeah, that should probably be better.
4th and 8th number to that 8-digit grid reference, you're going to use your first 3 digits, which is 142. The 4th digit will come from you breaking down the grid into tenths. So since half the grid is number 5, this will be here. We would say that is 2, and we can call that 2 also. So it would be grid reference 14221642. So you use an X and Y, and where that intersects is where those 2 extra numbers come from. Is everybody tracking on it?
Tracking, Sergeant.
From Sarge.
Excellent. Alright, let's see. Just so make sure you're getting it. Give me the 6 and the 8-digit grid reference for the South Gate private bets, which is just to the east of the Northwest Gate. So give me that 6-digit first.
Uh, 149162, Sergeant.
Excellent.
I need to remove some of these. This bot talking
Yeah.
because it's getting annoying.
Now give me the 8-digit grid reference for that location for the Southwest Gate, which is that symbol. Excuse me, the South Gate.
I would say 14951627, Sergeant.
Alright, I'd accept that, because 4 would be over and we're not breaking it down into fucking decimals. So yeah, that's fine. That's close enough. If you gave that grid reference, they should find that with no problem. Alright, Private Ayanovich, Northeast Gate. It is a little north. It's north and northeast from that south gate. It's right up here. Give me the 6-digit grid reference, and then give me the 8 did.
Sarge, grid reference 153 175.
Yes, that's right.
And it will be, well, it's 153 0 and 175 3.
Yep, I'll take it. I like it. Good job. 99% of the time, it's going to be a 6-digit grid reference. That's what we're going to be dealing with. 8 is not something we really deal with per se. I guess borders would kind of need that amount of accuracy, but it's good to know, especially when you get into your billet and you do land nav in your squad, which is really fun. They take everything away from you except for your fucking map tools and your compass and a
Alright,
map.
that should be better now.
And they drop you and your buddy team off.
Oh, who
and
else just
give you
joined the
a place to go first.
stream, I should say?
Hey,
Hey, Powerhouse Amber.
The
And thank you for the
top
follow. You
left
followed
map,
earlier, didn't you?
finding
When did
terrain
you follow
features,
me?
finding where you're at, and then
I
you
know
gotta
part was
traverse
Sunday, I'm
to
pretty
that
sure, was it?
point, and then from that point they give you a second point that you travel to. Quite fun. Not everybody agrees, but I like it. Any questions so far, gentlemen?
Sergeant.
Excellent. All right, next slide, please, Sergeant Smith.
Still going over map colors?
All right, so map colors.
Oh, yesterday, alright.
Forward,
Monday.
point,
Did I even
net
stream
range,
Monday? Oh, I did stream
which
Monday.
is
I streamed
land-based
Liberation,
features,
that's right.
i.e. buildings, structures of sort. Blue, water. Brown, it is relief features and elevation. Green is vegetation with military significance. Red is railroads. Black are the grid lines and or power lines. Thick
Okay.
orange lines are MSRs, which are main supply routes. That is our paved roads with stripes down the sides and the middle. The medium thick yellow lines are ASRs, our alternate supply route. That is your nicer
I almost
paved
cut
road.
myself.
It's usually pretty smooth. And then we have the hollow lines, which are an ASR some sort, but it is more of the off-roads look, where you have the ruts where the tires have gone with the elevated hump in the middle, like if you would go mudding, that type of roadway. Next slide, please, Sergeant.
See
Right.
private bits right there.
So contour
I wonder
line,
if there's
what's the
any
question,
sunlight in
Vortex?
here.
Can you say the one for green again, Sergeant?
Green is vegetation with military importance.
Cool.
Alright, let's look for a...
Private bits, I'm pretty sure there's no sunshine in here, so you might want to take off your shades.
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, so grid reference 0715. We have got the town of Topoli in that area. We're going to use this for our visual aid for the rest of the classroom here. Alright, so everybody has eyes on it?
Roger, Sergeant.
0715. You got that, Private Yanovich?
Yes, now I do.
All right. So you have red lines and you have the brown lines. Now, the brown lines are called intermediate lines. They indicate elevation change of approximately 2 meters. Now, that depends on how much you zoom in. So you can zoom in to where they're 1 meter, 2 meter, 5, 10, 20 meters. That's why it depends. And then your red lines are called index. Index lines are major elevation changes. Typically 5 brown lines will equal 1 red line. And then you have elevation markers on their map. That is elevation for hilltops above I guess above
Oh, I thought he was talking, but we just couldn't hear him. Nope, it's the other way around.
Whatever that's called. I'm having a brain fart right now. Somebody.
Sea level.
Yes, above sea level. Thank you. So if you look at here, you have hilltop 1 tree niner. If you scroll in just enough, you get to 2 meters. Or you can even go down to 1 meter. So at 139, you can actually see and accurately guesstimate the terrain, how much it drops, and how steep it is by how tightly packed the brown and red lines are. Now, it's good to know that because obviously steep terrain slows down your movement. We don't want that. We want to move as quickly as possible because we
Can
are
y'all just talk to me?
air assault.
Like 7 of you in here, and none of you are talking.
Move fast. So, being able to read.
Talking to you guys, not the guys here in here.
Your contour lines.
But there is 7 of us
will
in here.
give you
I'm talking
a
to
lot
you
of
guys in
information.
chat.
So like I said, these aren't just random numbers on a map. That is giving you heights of hilltops above sea level. But you can also use them as reference markers for hilltops. You know, giving out a quick grid ref and saying, you know, like hill 1 tree niner will be a RP, or whatever you want to call it. So they're good for reference markers. Next slide, please. All right, so major, minor terrain features. Major, we could consider hill, ridges, depressions, valley, and saddles.
It's okay. I need to talk to you after
And
this as
minor
well,
is a draw,
because I need to
spur,
give you
and
some
cliff.
extra stuff as well.
But don't worry, we're gonna go over each
So after
one
the
of
stream.
those, so
Whatever y'all want to talk about.
Sergeant Smith, let's get to the hill. There we go. So, like I said, you have multiple hilltops here, just in that grid that I pointed out. You have 121, 122, 167, 166, or excuse me, 116, 117. The most well-defined one here is hilltop 1 tree niner.
So I like talking. So when Sergeant Margietta is doing instruction,
advantage
I get bored because I love to talk.
Scout position on a
so like literature and explaining is my favorite thing.
Or a
so I gotta figure out something to talk about.
Route that you have planned. So hilltop 1 tree niner would be a good place for you to set up to get eyes out on the town of Tripoli. Now, obviously, it's good because you're getting a quick scout of that location, so you can get a estimated troop size, a good point to assault the town, see where there's less troops, more troops, etc. Now, being on top a hill has its disadvantages. One is if you happen to get too far forward past defilade, now you're called skylining, and any person on the east side of
I sure do get
Tripoli
bored.
has a possibility of seeing you because you're skylining.
We're
And
playing
it's
on
pretty easy to
well,
spot somebody when they're
the mission
silhouette and
template, the
not
whole
being
training
disguised
is on. I think
by
this is Altus.
the
Yeah, on
terrain.
Altus.
When you're just got a blue sky
So we
behind
play
you,
on Altus for
it's like a big
OSUT.
fucking neon sign saying "Look at me" and fucking shoot.
The train template was designed by Lieutenant Lewis,
That's
which
one
you
bad thing.
retired.
The second bad thing is if you're
He was
up here,
the CNO's instructor
camping too
before
long,
I was. Margiata and I have been helping him out
doing
since
recon,
like
which it
March.
shouldn't take
I
that
think
long.
March or April.
You should be
We've
able to
been
get up
helpers.
there and fucking
Then
30
Margiata and I
seconds to
became
event.
assistant OSUT
You
instructors
should
in
have
like
all the information
July.
you need,
And
which
then
route
Lieutenant
you're
Lewis
gonna
retired in like
take,
August or something like that.
and how to execute it and start fucking moving within their time. Now, if you happen to fucking pull out your blanket and start fucking camping at hilltop 139, and an enemy spots you, they can start pushing up in multiple locations.
So now we're going over
And
how to read your
the
map.
enemy's
So
surrounded.
basically land navigation all in total, but
Now, you would
reading
think
the
that's
major
okay
terrain
because
features
you're on
in the
top
map,
of a fucking hill,
and we're talking about advantages,
but if
disadvantages
they
of these terrain
have
features,
overwhelming firepower
and
and they start
why they're
pushing
so
up
significant
slope,
to us, and why we should
you
actually
have
consider
nowhere to
them.
go except for a fucking very hot
So he's talking
route
about
by
why the hill is
fucking
good to use
Kilo.
whenever you're being
Now,
whenever you're ambushing
did
someone,
you put yourself in fucking
but
jeopardy? You just
it's
jump
bad
in
to use sometimes
the
because you're trapped on the hill. There's no way to
pilots
go.
and
If you've
whoever
been
else
enveloped,
in that
if you
airframe
got forces
in
pushing in
jeopardy
on you from both
because
sides, then you can't really escape unless you
took
go
too
down
long
inside and move
on
to
a
another hill.
hilltop and got fucking
And then he's also saying that
caught with
it's a
pants
bad
down
place
there.
for an LZ to be in, because if you have a
Like I said,
bird
Jess,
landing on
it's
top
good
of a hill, what's most likely going to
do your
happen is that
recon,
everyone's going to
get
have
up
eyes
there,
on that bird
do your fucking
because the bird
business,
has no cover. That's why
learn
usually
what you
birds
need,
would look.
get your ass
When I'm
down,
talking about
and
birds,
start
like the
moving.
helicopters, that's why they should land on valleys because
More
they're
you stay up
protected by
there,
hills. But
the
in
longer
other
you do,
words, they
the
have
more the
advantage. So
chance that you didn't get spotted. Somebody's
you were
gonna
saying
do
that hills are a
something
little
stupid,
complicated.
act
It's
like
hard to
stand
know
up,
whether or not it's a good place to be in
and
and where there's a bad place to be in. But right now we're
then
telling them
or
about the disadvantages and advantages of it
get surrounded.
and what can happen when you
Not
use it.
only could you get shot at, but by skylining, they don't have to acknowledge that they seen you. They can
So now
fucking
he's
see
talking
a
about
trail
skylining.
inside
Skylining is
town
basically when
fucking
you're standing on top of a hill,
running through.
all
They
thing
can
that's
see
shining
the
through
sign
you
up the
from
town
behind you
with
is the light. So it makes you very obvious when you're standing on top of a hill because
reinforcements,
you're
knowing
easily
that
seen because the
you're
light is
full
shining
threat.
on you and you're casting a large
Could be
shadow.
pretty bad.
So as a result,
Next one, Sergeant.
everyone can see you. Any enemy can see you on top of the
Alright,
hill,
so ridgeline.
risking you to be shot easily.
So multiple hilltops make up a ridgeline. This is a ridgeline.
This is a ridgeline right
That
here.
is a ridgeline. And that would be a ridgeline.
This is a ridgeline too.
So using a ridgeline
She's probably confused.
is good to mask your movement. If you wanted to push troops a long distance
Powerhouse, do you have?
without being seen,
Do you have a good decent computer that can play Armor?
you can use.
So I know Big
get close
Gamer,
to
Big Man Gamer doesn't have a good
top
computer.
of the
He has a
ridgeline,
laptop, I heard.
very peak of it, and just stay off center as you push,
Confused about what?
and you can mask your movements from one side. Now I'm saying on that side because we're still using the town of Topoli as a example of possible enemies and you assaulting that town. So I mean, you can get all the way to that point by using a ridgeline, but you don't have to going that far. Would not be ideal, to be honest. But like I said, you can use that to mask your movement. Also, by traveling that close to the peak of a ridgeline, if you are here and you're moving, and all of a sudden you get engaged from the north side, all you have to do is fucking get your happy ass right over the other side of the ridgeline, and you are now behind defilade, and you have great earth cover from whatever is attacking you from the north side. So you want to keep it high up. You don't want to be moving, halfway down the fucking hilltop and think you're doing good because you're using the hilltop and the ridge lines as cover. Because if you all of a sudden get fucking engaged from the north out of this tree cover, you're screwed. Bad. You can't push down that way. I mean, I guess you could, but that'd be suicide. Pushing back up would be bad because, one, you got a hell of a distance to try cover going uphill, means you move slower. Two, you're putting your back towards the enemy, which is something you never want to do. Moving this way and moving to your flanks is just going to be just as fruitless as going up. But that would probably be your best bet, would be to
Oh, she likes Call of Duty.
contact and move either left or right flank. But still, that's going to probably induce multiple casualties because you just got caught with your pants down on side of a hill with no cover. And maybe you get lucky and have a hill that has some rock outcrops, but then again, it still won't protect you from 30 millimeter fucking exploding rounds from autocannons.
Yeah, Arma 3, it's
hidden by you. Not like
it's a game that's bad for systems. Well, I shouldn't say that, but Arma 3 has a lot of things that you could do. Such one of them you doing right now is like you could be part of Milsim Unit, or you could do Arma 3 Life. And that's where you could roleplay as a civilian, or roleplay as a police officer, roleplay as a politician, or you could roleplay as a lawyer. You roleplay as a fireman. A lot of things you could do in Arma 3 Life, and then you have just regular PvP stuff like such as King of the Hill, which is about love, or Wasteland, other stuff like that. So Arma 3 has a lot of things you could do for your spare time.
Thank you, Specialist. Before we go to the next one, y'all have any questions? Private Bets, Private Ayanovich?
No, Sergeant.
No, Sergeant.
All right. Yes, Private Reed.
Thank you, Sergeant. Just one other observation I've noticed is that using prominent features like hills and bridge lines, it's very tempting to sit up there and try to set up and engage from that point. Like, if you look at Topolia, the hill to the northeast is a very obvious location to overwatch the town from. Any enemy with half a brain also knows this, and that is going to be the first place they pre-range for mortars.
Correct. Yes. Fucking mortars. Suck. So, yep, you don't want to camp anywhere. Camping in our line of work, gentlemen, is no bueno. It is not good. So if you get caught with a counterattack while you're moving to a area operation, do do what you train. Fucking react to contact, which is go prone, find cover, return fire, get a base of fire going, and start flanking the enemy with your second team. Do that as fast as possible. Provide overwhelming firepower with your base of fire, and then push through them and finish them off with your flanking team. Yep, do that as fast as possible and keep pushing to the AO. You don't want to sit up there and get in a firefight
Luke
with
Spin,
them because that
I
just
see
means
you hiding
that
there in
they're gonna
chat.
have
Why aren't you
somebody,
speaking, bro?
with binos fucking eyeing you up.
I forget who
calling
Luke
around,
Spin is though.
and
Are you part of
fucking
506 Luke
knocking your
Spin?
head through your ass. It's no good. All right. Don't want to ramble on for that. Next one is a
Yeah, Battle Royale is fun.
saddle.
Did you hear about PUBG, Player Unknown,
Now,
Battlegrounds,
saddle
and
is the low spot
I think now
that
what
is
the name of that game is
to
Fortnite
hilltops.
has Battle Royale too as well. I think.
So you have
But I don't play that.
a Ridge-on, like I showed you.
I don't play Fortnite. Looks boring to me.
Now, this is your saddle. Even though that's not really much of a low spot, a fucking meter and a meter here, but that is where a saddle would be located. Now,
A saddle connects heels.
saddles are good for masking your movement, going from one side of a hill to another. So if you were pushing up that
I'm gonna
hill
be right back, guys. Continue talking to each other.
and you wanted to get on the other side of it, sure the hell wouldn't push up and go to the top of this peak here, hilltop. You want to take the road that is easier, because you fucking marching uphill, all that weight, and you don't want to slow down. So you can use a saddle to, one, get over that hill a lot quicker by also masking your movements from your flanks. Because usually in a saddle, your hilltops that are on the either side are much higher than your flanks, your saddle, so you have defilade on either side. Now, there's also another terrain feature I'm going to get to in a minute. It's called a draw. Draws lead to saddles. Draw is another terrain feature that is good to mask your movement going up and down slopes. But for right now, the more efficient way to get over a hilltop is by using a saddle. It covers your movement from that direction and that direction for the most part. Now, you are kind of screwed if they do have guys on the hilltops waiting for you, because it's kind of like a shooting a fish in a bucket type deal. You really don't have a way to get out if they laid a trap in a saddle. You only can move forward or backwards. But then again, they have to know you're coming, and if they know that, then you screwed up at some point along the way.
Alright, I'm back.
Any questions on a saddle?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Next slide, please, Sergeant.
I've never seen Zoot
All
Pie.
right, a valley.
Zoot Pie.
So, like I said, a saddle leads
What
to
is Zoot
a
Pie?
draw, which that's what that is. As you can see, your terrain features as they kind of go in here. That indicates a draw. Like I said, a saddle leads to a draw, and a draw leads to a valley. All right there is a fucking valley. Valleys are no good to travel in besides a convoy. Because you have the low ground. That's not a place you want to be. I would just use a valley when you're traveling in a convoy and fix. Because it's fast. The ground there is pretty flat for the most part, so that allows you to travel quickly. And that's about it. I wouldn't be caught marching your guys in a valley, because a valley usually has
Zootopia. Okay.
That is
okay, which animal from Zootopia?
That is a great ambush point for them. Obviously, it's a great ambush for us if we know they have a convoy coming down the valley. That's about it. Like I said, I wouldn't put my guys in a valley. I would take it a little bit longer and get up and ride a ridge line to where I needed to go, or push into a wooded area if there is some. You pretty much fucking let your. It's not going to be a good day. Any questions on a valley? Yes.
Okay.
No, maybe so.
No, Sergeant.
All right. All right. Fucking, this is the draw and spurs.
Alright,
I told you a saddle.
y'all might want to refresh your browser.
Leads to a
yeah, refresh your browser, so that way you could be able to
now if you look,
see
get out of your maps.
my response is much quicker, I think.
That we have up here, the middle arrow is the actual draw. The two outside arrows are your spurs. That is the def lead. That is what makes a draw well.
I think there's like a 40-second difference of you guys hearing what I said, so you might want to refresh the page.
Now, this is what the draw looks like on the map. Showed you, but I will draw it in again. So, that is a draw. That is a draw. That is
refresh your page.
There.
So like refresh Twitch real quick. That way you can be able to. Seem like some reason my
this is
like the latency is 40 seconds when it shouldn't be 40 seconds. It should be like 20 seconds or 10.
So they're pretty easy.
It seems like to me I respond to y'all messages and then 40 minutes later I'd see y'all reply.
Inward turn.
This is a draw as well.
The draw for movement.
Draws lead up to saddles.
You want to keep your guys like up on the sides here, kind of where the red arrows are. If you get out of your map, just a little bit below the red arrow. You don't want to commit them all the way down to the bottom of the draw. You want a place to go, but you also don't want to be over defilade and skyline.
Want to put on the spurs.
Your movements in a draw. Also, keeping your one team up on the left side of the draw and another team up on the right-hand side of the draw kind of helps protect your flanks in case of an attack on your flanks as you're pushing through a draw. Just being that little bit high up, you're not stuck down at the bottom of the draw. And plus, if a
what's funny?
Fire team or a squad size element from an enemy decides to push down from the draw or push up, and y'all kind of fucking running into each other, chances are they're going to be in the bottom of the draw. So being back up off the bottom of the draw and up on the sides gives you that elevation that could help you win that fight.
Okay.
So a draw is good to use if you want to get down off a hilltop or get up on a hilltop fairly safe and protected. Any questions on that feature?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Next one. All right, so a depression, it's a sunken area that is surrounded by raised earth all the way around. The best thing I can show you on here is going to be multiple hilltops in a circle, which will make up a ridgeline, and in the middle of all of that will be
Hey, Scraps.
a lower area, and that
What's your name on? Are you?
as a depression. Obviously,
Where'd I know you from? I'm trying to
you wanna
figure
move
out.
through that as quickly as possible because that's not a place you want to be.
Should I say remember you from?
In a low area surrounded entirely by an high area. So in that circumstance, you would want to use the draws that are connecting all the hilltops together to move in and out of that.
Are you proud of 506 Scraps?
As quickly as possible. Any questions on a depression?
I got 9 viewers. Something I never had in a while.
Sergeant.
One time I had I think 13 or no 40 viewers, and that was for Operation Crimson Moon Phase 1. Or no, it was during FDX.
Sergeant Smith.
Okay, you just saw.
All right, minor features. So a cliff. If you look on your map.
Okay. You just found decided to talk.
0522.
Okay, well.
You look up in that direction. You see how tightly packed the contour lines
well, Scraps,
are.
I stream Arma 3 weekly, and I record Rainbow Six Siege videos, and then I upload them Rainbow Six Siege, and I record other games as well on my spare time, such as Dreadnought and other games. So.
I mean, you can see that's a hell of a elevation change from 300 plus meters down to 0 meters. So. One second, gentlemen. Whatever. Just ignore that. Alright. So, like I said, that's a hell of a elevation change from 300 plus meters down to 0. You don't want to find your back against a cliff that will.
I'm part of 516. What are you part of then?
Yep,
I was just gonna ask about Private Dylan because his pistol's pointing at me, but I realized he was losing connection.
Yeah, he'll be alright. So yes, you don't want to find your back to a cliff, because obviously that's one less direction you could travel, and all they have to do is get you on the flanks and in the front, and just keep pressure, and you have nowhere to go. Reinforcements is not going to come because they're not getting up that cliffside. So that is a cliff.
Well, Scraps, I hope you
next one.
are enjoying what you're watching.
I think you tied up. Sergeant Smith. McCoy.
Yeah, he's just desynced, so he'll just yeah.
I'm talking about Sergeant Smith. Looks tied up.
Yeah, I don't think I need to be held into captivity. Thank you very much.
All right. Any questions on terrain features before we move on, gentlemen?
No, Sergeant.
No, Sergeant.
All right.
Okay.
So next is our micro dagger. Just
scraps.
and click
If you want to, there's something like to watch, then just scrap to my channel. And I like to stream, and I also do stream on Twitch as well. But yeah, I upload daily content weekly.
All right.
I'm
so
trying to do it daily
hotel key,
soon.
H key, and that will bring up your micro daggers. Everybody seeing it? Everybody's micro daggers coming up.
Roger, Sergeant.
All right. So on the top of your micro dagger, you have in-game time. Bottom left, you have the degrees in which you are facing. Your body is facing. If you turn your head using Alt, your micro dagger does not change. It is the direction of your body. Bottom middle is the grid reference you are physically standing in, and the right is the cardinal direction in which your body is facing. Now you can hit either left or right control H, and it will bring up your micro dagger full size to where you can interact with it. Happen for both of y'all?
Roger, Sergeant.
All right. So in the bottom right hand corner, they have a grayed screen. Now when you drag your mouse over the middle of the micro dagger, you have a yellow line with a arrow tip connected on the end. Now you can use that line with that arrow tip to give you the grid reference of where that arrow tip is. Not where your body is, but where that arrow tip is. It gives you the meters above sea level that you are, that arrow tip is from you. So to tell you if you have to go up or down a certain amount of meters. It will also tell you how far you have to travel from where you're standing to where that arrow tip is pointing. And it also tells you the degree and cardinal direction you have to travel to get to that point. Now it translates that distance into kilometers. Anything that is 0.99 and below will be translated into meters by, so if it's 0.99 kilometers away, that will be 990 meters. If it's 0.50, 0.52, that would be 520 meters, and so forth. So that is how you change that over to meters, because we don't use kilometers. Anything less than a click, we don't consider kilometers. You just call out 1 kilometer as a click, or 1,000 meters. All right.
User joined your channel.
Sergeant Smith.
Your channel.
Yes.
I'm assuming you've dealt with that. Whoever that is has joined.
It's handled, Sergeant.
Okay. Do you?
I got no response, but I told him we're in the overclass. He moved to one channel up.
Roger. Anything else? And let me know and I'll deal with it.
Yeah, Roger.
User left your channel.
All right. So if you use your micro dagger, and does everybody see how moving that arrow
Must have missed something. I don't know what that just happened.
gives you all that information on the bottom?
Roger, Sergeant.
Roger, Sergeant.
All right. Yep. Don't be afraid to use your micro dagger. Keep it up if you want. I would suggest keeping it up during operations.
What the
during
heck is
training.
happening?
Get used to it. It helps calling out.
Oh, I know what's happening.
One of the 3Ds very quickly. At least you can get everybody looking in that general direction. So if you had a contact in a certain
Okay, I don't
location,
know what
all you
just
have to do
happened
is
right
look
now.
down
I
your
don't know
fucking
why
flight
it just
radar.
did that.
Tells you what degree you're facing. So like right now, I'm facing almost dead east. I'm at 091 degrees. So if there was a contact at that direction, I can at least get the direction out, which is 09 or 1. So everybody would hurry up and face that direction. That'd give me time to get out the next two. Would be if it was a fire team, single, double, squad size element, and at the least get a very decent estimation on range. So it just helps you become more efficient at being an 11 Bravo. Any other questions, comments, gentlemen?
Could you go over the way you do kilometers to meters again, Sergeant?
Sure. The most you're going to get is 0.99 kilometers before you start going over to a click. Now, you're just going to add a 0 behind that. So instead of 0.99 clicks, it's going to be 990 meters. So, yep, that's how you take care of that. Yep, Specialist McCoy, go for it.
Thank you, Sergeant. So yeah, just
Okay, I
simple
thought either
way
someone
to
either
measure
followed, but
metric
it didn't. The
system
message
is
didn't pop up. Maybe someone
1
subscribed to my
kilometer,
channel. I'm
1
pretty
click
sure.
equals
So thank you
1,000
to whoever
meters.
just subscribed to
So
my
anything
YouTube channel. I'm
below
pretty sure that's why
1 kilometer
that
or
was alert
1,000
for it. But
meters
some reason it
is
didn't
counted meters.
show up the alert for some
So
reason.
everything up to 1,000 is meters, and then once you hit 1 click, it's 1,000 meters away. That's all. Thanks, Sergeant.
Thank you. So, all right. If no questions, I believe that is all for the classroom fun shit here. We will. Yep. All right.
Caden, that's who it is. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. You're 101st subscriber. Hope you continue to watch my streams,
All right, I
Caden.
want you to follow,
I stream on Tuesdays and
Specialist McCoy
Thursdays and
outside.
Saturday and Sundays as
Going
well.
to,
Soon if I get my Rainbow Six
put your
Siege
cover on,
situation fixed up, I'll be streaming Siege on Mondays,
and
Wednesdays,
follow
and
him to
Fridays.
the blue flag, and I'll join y'all
But
in a minute.
soon I'm going to need to
Ionovich, I'm gonna move
upgrade
with,
my
Sergeant
CPU,
Specialist McCoy.
Moving.
which I can't do right now, so which is why I'm trying to collect funds to upgrade my CPU so I can be able to stream Siege for you guys as well.
We got some stuff on the deck here.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, it happens. So I just inventory. When you're looking over it, you should be able to pick it back up.
Nope, right. Class is not over. It's just the well, I guess you would say that class is over, but it's technically wait a minute. Someone in here?
Yes, thank you, sir.
But technically class is not over. We'll be going over we're gonna be going CQPC. I'm just gonna grab a rifle just in case for that.
Say again? No, that's fine. Yeah, internet took a shit. No problem. Hey, no problem.
we're classing over, we're going over some on vehicle ID and all the other stuff.
Alright, Private McCoy, get a movie here.
Gentlemen, on your feet.
Excuse me, Specialist McCoy. Apologize.
No worries, Sergeant. Alright, Alpha, take him out to the
Yep,
flag.
classroom portion's
Recall
over.
identification course.
Private Yanovich, let's go to the blue.
Copy that.
I don't see it.
I'm not seeing it, so...
Stand by.
You got it, Art. Yeah, I can see it. I'm special, motherfuckers. Yeah, just stand fast, gentlemen. Sergeant Smiths.
Working the magic.
Yep, stand by. Let's see. Yep, here we are.
You gotta peek at my rearrangement job.
Yep.
A little bit more efficient. Oh, you cheat.
Alright.
Alright, everybody here. Everybody got their fucking arms and legs after that trip?
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright. Follow me. Alrighty. This is the Alley of Armor. Here is what we call a BTR. Oh, hold on, I'm missing.
Arrangement's kind of good.
I was experiencing a lot of lag, Sergeant.
That's alright.
Yeah, this is a good arrangement.
So these are BTRs. If you have trouble remembering the BTR from a BMP, just remember big tire. BTR. You have on my right a 7.62 coaxial machine gun, and on my left you have a this is a Type A variant of the BTR. I think it's a BTR 80A. Yes.
Yes.
So it's a BTR 80A. It has an autocannon on top. If two of these rolled out, the one on my left is the more important one. Point being is it is a danger to our armor, which would be MRAPs. It is a danger to our airframes, which are our CAS, our A-10 and AH-64s, and it is also a danger to our infantry, just because of the fucking autocannon. You know, it's a 30 millimeter, and the rounds explode on impact. So you think you can hide from it behind a rock? All these cocksuckers have to do is shoot left or right at a rock, and you're fucking dead because of the shrapnel and explosion from that 30 mic round. So if you see these two, oh, it's 20 millimeter. Okay, I thought it was 30 millimeter. Thank you for correcting me. But either way, yes, it is a bad time. You fucking pizza and you French fry instead of pizza, you're gonna have a bad time. So yes, you see autocannon, call it up, and get it taken care ASAP. They're armored, lightly armored of the bunch. Well, excuse me, of the two. The BMP is heavily armored compared to the BTR. You think taking a broadside shot with your AT is the best thing to do with this. It can go either good or bad because these brown boxes are explosive, or i.e. Reactive armor. So it's not a guarantee that you get a clean shot on the broadside of these vehicles with an AT that they're going to go catastrophic. They do carry guys, an extra, dismount team, along with the vehicle commander, driver, gunner. So sometimes you might have more than just 2 or 3 guys bail out of the Vic when it's about to go catastrophic. So just keep that in mind. It can be taken out with any of the 3 infantry weapon platforms that you'll have at your disposal, which would be the AT4, the M72, and the 320 40 mic. If you do elect to use the 40 mic, make sure you select your HE-DPs. Your regular HEs will not do anything to this Vic, but about 4 or 5 will pace shots with your HE-DPs on the Vic will fucking cook it off. Like anything, you want to prioritize your weapon platform. If you can take it out with 40 mics, go for it. The next course of action I would suggest would be going with your M72 and saving your AT4 for a little bit later on and for a possible different vehicle. Oh, so I was right. It was a 30mm autocannon.
Yeah, my apologies, Sergeant.
Not a problem. So, yes. So prioritize your weapon platform that you elect to use to take this vehicle out. I would start with the lowest and work up. Over here is a BRDM. This is a lighter armored variant of the BTR to a point. Got a 7.62 coaxial machine gun on top, turret. It does have dismounts. I don't believe there is a variant type of this vehicle. If there is, I haven't seen it. I'm sure you can take this out with 40 mics. I haven't tried, but if you can do that with a BTR, I'm sure you can make one go catastrophic with a BRDM. Yes, probably bets.
Is there no reactive armor on that one, Sergeant?
Nope.
Roger.
Nope. They're quick. No, I had a training where we didn't even hear it, and it snuck up behind us and fucking ran over like 4 or 5 of us.
Sure does sneak up on you.
And took off like a bat out of hell. So, yeah, just keep your head on a swivel.
Would it fit?
Vehicles. Alright, if y'all do a 180, we have 4 variations of a BMP. Now, this is probably the most lethal BMP right here because this is a variant. Just like I said about the BTRs, the A variant of either the BTR or BMP gets top priority to a point. If you see that over normal BMPs or BTRs, it gets top priority. There's one more Vic that gets higher priority over the Type A BTRs and BMPs, and I'm going to go over that in a minute. But you prioritize it by its weapon. Obviously, autocannon is very deadly, but then you start getting into these larger caliber single shot cannons. They do have a much slower reload time. So it does give you the advantage of fucking moving and maneuvering away from the Vic to get a clean shot with your AT. They do have tow missiles on top and just point and aim type air to ground, not air to ground, but ground to ground missile. I wouldn't necessarily say. Thank you. I wouldn't necessarily say to shoot at this with your M72.
That's right and everything. Anti-tank guided
This is
missile.
the reason why I would say prioritize your shots. You know, shoot the BTR, which is
I'm not
M72,
entirely
and
sure,
save the
but
AT
what you can do is
for
you can search it up online
this
where
one.
you can
This is
search up
a little bit heavier armored. It's
or
got
you can
the
search
slope
can I
gun, just
run
like
Armor
the
3
BTRs,
with an
but it
AMD
is
A8
a
7410.
heavier armored
Is that a gaming graphics card or just like
variant.
a stock
It does have
graphics card?
reactive
Or
armor on
GPU,
the
I should
side.
say.
Cruel but effective. Excuse me, crude but effective. The variant at the very end, to y'all's right, it has a fucking mortar tube on the back. So it makes for a pain in the ass to track down where mortars are being fired from. Well, you have your normal mortar pit with mortar teams popping off rounds. This, he can pop off 5 or 6 rounds and then he can just fucking skedaddle and find a new hiding spot, and you go to look where you think they came from and there's nothing there. So it could be a pain in the ass. This is the same as BTR.
Fear
Does
scopes.
have a crew inside,
What? So you're
along with a dismount team, so you can have multiple dismounts once you shoot it. And
okay? If
it
it could run
your,
games like Rainbow Six
rockets.
Siege, then it could
So
definitely
as
run
long as
Armor
you
3.
choose to
Depending on the
shoot
graphics level you're
your
playing it at.
rocket, fucking
So right now I put my
discard of
graphics
it
at.
and pull your rifle out, because shortly after you hit it, you'll have dismounts, and you don't want them running off.
So
and
the way I
cover
configured my
and
graphics is
it's
to a
fucking
certain
more of a
way
headache for
to
you
where
to,
I could
have to
have
deal
decent
with.
frames with like you see all the stuff right here. I'm getting 30
Anybody
frames per second
on
with all this
a
stuff
BMP?
displayed. So
Sergeant.
with that said,
Alright.
you could run Armor 3. Just you got to configure your graphics to a certain way. If you could run Rainbow Six Siege, you could definitely run Armor 3 because Rainbow Six Siege requires a lot of graphics and
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
what do you call it again? A lot of graphics and physics because you got multiple stuff blowing up at the same time. You got multiple stuff going to your server and back in. So if you can run Rainbow Six Siege, you can run Armor 3 then. So yeah, yes, you can play Armor 3.
These two platforms.
What, you're looking to join 506 right now?
Out of the BMPs and BTRs, even the A variants, because we can't efficiently complete our missions if these are in the AO, because we can't get.
But yeah, no, Marge had a smart idea. Put down every
asset
that it is in Dom 4 and Blue 4. So all of our friendly assets and all of our enemy assets here. And that was a smart idea to do so because this way no one has an excuse of what it is and what is not.
I believe you can even take them out with your M72 at a decent range. So don't wait. Either call it up, get weapons on it, or let your squad leader and platoon deal with it if they want to let that rifle squad try to take it out. You know, don't be fucking Rambo and just take it out if you see it. Always go up your chain. Make sure it's kosher to do so. These will fire on infantry if they see you. So just because they're mainly AA, they will still.
Well, if you subscribe, thank you for subscribing. Why don't you follow my
fire on you.
My Twitch channel as well if you want to.
Yes, Specialist McCoy.
Thank you, Sergeant. Just to add to what the Sergeant was saying.
But yeah, thank you for the YouTube subscribe. But yes, the only requirement to join the 506 is for you to you have to be 18 years old, and B, you have to own Armor 3, and you actually have to own as well Apex as well. So I don't know how much Armor 3 costs right now, but I know Apex. I don't know how much Apex costs either as well. But you have to own Armor 3 and Apex as well. So you have to own both of them in order to join the 506.
Yep, comment primary.
Thank you, Sergeant. You didn't mention the calling sign for the OSUT 23. It's Shoka.
Yes, Shoka. Yes.
Shoka, Sergeant?
Yeah, Shoka.
Yeah, it's the lovely nickname for the ZSU Also, you'll hear referred to as a Zeus cannon, which is how we refer to any multi-turreted autocannon setup.
Right, because you have the flatbed pickup truck with a ZSU-23 cannon on the back, or you have the ones that are put out on the ground with the tires and shit. That is same.
I really don't know my specs. I can tell you I have a GTX 1060 3 GB overclock.
Has 4.
Have an i5 6400.
Just as
4 cores, non-overclock.
Deadly as this.
16 gigabytes of RAM.
Had the pleasure here that go off
I do not know what motherboard I have, so I can't tell you that. I have 2 terabytes of hard drive space. And that's it.
Moving on.
Let me point out one thing.
Yep, go Sergeant.
We did say that the.
Pause.
Come on, yellow?
Nay on.
Okay, good. We did say that this is the older version. I mean, not older, sorry, the newer version, correct?
Excuse me?
I didn't know if I heard it or not. We did say that this is the newer version.
Of this Tunguska?
Yeah, we did say that's a newer version, correct?
No.
Yeah. So the Tunguska is a newer version of the Shilka. As you can see, it has less autocannons on it, but however, it carries the rocket pods as well. So that's why they're a major threat than the Shilka. But just take them out as the same priority as well. But this is more, I wouldn't say more important, but it's just that it poses a greater threat. It has a larger range for detecting aircrafts as well. Alright, that's it. Thank you, Sergeant.
Yep, thank you.
Cool.
Alright, let's move on down to...
Well, I wouldn't say, one second, I'm being from.
Alright, so you have a... Which one is this? The Ural?
Yeah.
Yes, so that's the Ural. And this is a gas. They are both infantry, fucking reinforcement trucks, fucking flatbed trucks, fucking, they're...
Alright, so now I can talk now.
Backs.
Is Arma 3 worth it though?
A squad of 2 guys.
It's all dependent.
Back of this
If you try out Arma 3, then you'll know if it's worth it or not. As a college student, I gotta figure out something to do that I enjoy to find fun for to do. It didn't for everyone else to find join. Like a big gamer gamer said, he wants to play Arma 3 badly, but he doesn't have like the actual required PC specs to actually play it though. But it depends on whether you like. Do you like doing Arma? Do you like military simulation? That's what Arma 3 is mainly about. Arma 3 was based off made to actually compose a military simulation. And if you go through the campaigns, it's based off of actual NATO trying to support a country, and then a country I think rebels against them or something like that, or whatever. But you have to escape from Altus and stuff like that. But I forgot what whole campaigns, but I haven't played a campaign in a long time.
Next thing you know, you got sporadic firefights all over. So
if you love it so much, you should buy it then for your
and then
if you want to join 5.6, just get what I want to say. Just make sure you get Apex as well from 5.6. And our operations are on every other Sunday, depending on what task force you join. So Task Force Alpha, their operations are on the first and third Sunday. Task Force Bravo operations on the second and fourth Sunday. And then Task Force Charlie, their operations are on the Saturdays before the second and fourth Sunday. So if you want to come hop on, and you can also fill in our operations when you're through. I'm not sorry. You can fill in for our trainings once if you're through the pipeline. But there's some more YouTubers you can watch as well. I refer to you if you want to watch some more videos about 506. My streams from the operations are on my channel as well. But you can also check out Jester 814. You can check out Cougarific, War Games Corporation. There's some YouTubers who stream YouTubers and streamers who actually display the 506 stuff like that.
They all are gas and Euros.
Yeah, I would love to have you. I'd love to see you playing with us.
Where you can stand in the fucking cab and shoot out.
And if you guys want to continue talking to me, I could give you a Discord link as well.
Like I said, they're all kind of variations. These are so. This is a UAZ. This is their Dishcom, and their variation of a GMG Mark 19. It's what is this? AGS 30. Obviously, it's poorly armored. You want to take out the gunners first, and then go for the drivers. But chances are you're gonna probably shoot at both and hit both of them. What they have is speed. They'll come into an AO faster than you know, and then they're popping up fucking laying waste to everything with fucking 40 mics in what is that, like 12.7 rounds? So yeah, hit the gunner first. Obviously, that's order of importance, and then hit the driver. But I'm sure more than one person will see this, and you'll have a fucking hail of gunfire.
This is not my Discord. This belongs to War Games Incorporation, but he said I am allowed to use it. So there's a link. It gives you a direct invite towards the lounge room.
There's an issue with Arma sometimes where if it sights you and it has a clear line of sight, it'll just laser beam you in the face with one shot. So if you find yourself where you can't take the gunner out immediately and it starts to engage you, it's best just to back off and let someone else take care of it, because just thank you, Arma, that's a bug, and so keep that in mind. Thank you, Sergeant.
Yep. Yeah, you get armored every once in a while. All right. Anything with any of these Vics?
I'll just touch on something real quick. Don't think just shooting the gunner, this vehicle is no longer lethal. This vehicle could still run you over, A, and then B, the driver could move the vehicle to a good position, get on that gunner seat, and then wait for you guys to pop a corner. He could just mow you down one by one. So don't think that shooting the gunner, you could let that guy just drive off away. Shoot the driver as well, so then this person won't be able to take out your whole squad. So just keep that in mind.
Yep. Something I like to do is if they're all dead and the truck is still fairly good, I like to shoot out one or the two tires. It doesn't take barely any rounds, about 4 or 5 rounds total. We'll take out 2 tires, and now the Vic is non-movable. So if you pass it up, you don't have to worry about that thing coming up behind you, because a couple of A4 found it and decided to use it. So doesn't take much to disable these Vics. Alright, let's do a 180, gentlemen. Let's push down to their airframes. Alright. Alright, so this is their fucking Hind helicopter. It is their attack helicopter, but it does have the option to carry troops in the back and land and disembark troops, fucking paradrop troops. But the biggest worry of this is cast runs by the enemy. If you see it, don't shoot at it, just call it up. Fucking keep an eye on it every once in a while. Just stay out of sight. Because the rocket pods, the fucking machine guns on the side, and all that shit fucking hurt. So, you can't do anything. Your 7.62 won't do anything. It's just a waste of ammo. 5.56, just a waste. So, all you can do is fucking call it up. And if you see it landing, keep that distance and direction in your mind. Call it up, because it could be dropping troops off. There's no really need for this airframe to land unless it's dropping troops off. It is the Hind. Here we go to this one. This K-52. This is like their shitty version of our Apache. It does create a lot of damage. With cast runs, it has the option of ground attack. It is quick. It does a lot of destruction. So call it up and let our air assets take it out. Same thing as the Hind. Shooting at it doesn't do anything. It just draws its attention to you. So stay below defilade, stay in cover, stay inside, and let Warlord or Thunder take it out. This is strictly an attack helicopter, so there won't be any troops paradropping or being infilled with this vehicle. Private question?
Yes, Sergeant. What do we call it?
It is a KA-52.
And I believe they call this the Frog, correct, right? Or is it Alec?
It just says KA-52.
Okay.
But if you want, you can Google it. But if you call it a KA-52, everybody will know what that is, and we'll get our air assets on that ASAP.
Copy that.
Yep. Let's move on over. Alright, yep, so it's a KA-52 Alligator. Yep. Alright, so these two are the same, but they're not the same. They are both HIPs. Troop transports, one's just a little bit more heavier armed. Not armored, but armed than the other one. The one on my right has two door guns, one on the port side and one on the starboard. The one on the starboard is in the back. The one on the port side is in the front. On the one on the left side, it has two door guns, but they are both towards the front of the helicopter. They do paradrop troops. They can also land and drop troops. Just keep an eye on them, call it up. If you see them land, call it up so platoon can know. These will be dealt with by our air assets also. You could get lucky and shoot them, probably shoot at the tail rotor, but like I said, it's fucking a waste of ammunition. You know, we go in there with very limited ammunition, 10 mags for your M4 is not much. Oh, and don't try to shoot any of these airframes with your AT. Even on the ground, it's a fucking waste. Maybe shoot at the hips with 40 mics if they're within range. But if they're in that range, you might as well get your AR to fucking light up the inside in a troop part or while they drop it off troops and just kill everybody. That's about it. Yes, comment, McCoy.
Thanks, Sergeant. So just something that actually came up on our last deployment here in regards to the Geneva Convention. So these helicopters will drop off paratroops, which are not protected by the ejection clause of the Geneva Convention. So you're free to shoot those guys, but keep in mind a PID if you do see people dropping in parachutes, because the pilots of these vehicles are protected by the Geneva Convention, and you are not allowed to shoot at them while they are midair. So just keep that in mind. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yeah, civilized countries don't do that, but fucking assholes will shoot at that in a minute. Alright, any questions on these airframes?
No, Sarge.
No, Sergeant.
Alright, let's move down to our airframes that we use as Blue 4. Alright, so this one first here is No. Oh, yep. Thank you, Private Reed. We'll go over the tanks in a minute. This is UH-60 Blackhawk. This is our one of our chariots that we run into battle in. Not very often. The most you'll use this as a squad training, platoons. Platoon trainings and or official operations will use the Chinook. Like I said, this is UH-60 helicopter. UH is utility helicopter. Has multiple purposes. Will fit a squad plus a couple of guys. It has 2 door guns, 2 miniguns, 7.62, and the call sign for this is Phoenix. All right, let's move on to the next airframe. All right, so this is the A-10. This is A-10. There's only 3 pilots in the entire task force for this airframe.
The entire company.
It call sign is Thunder, and it steals the thunder of people in Weapon Squad. No, it's a great platform. GAL 8, when it comes in for gun runs, cast runs, is fucking awesome, especially when it's danger close. Badass. Like I said, the call sign is Thunder. Any questions, comments?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alrighty. Move on here. This is a Little Bird. I believe like AH-6, some shit. Yeah, AH-6. No. So it's an AH-6. Little Bird, call sign is Lancer. It has a fucking minigun on the one side and rocket pods on the other. It's just like the Apache. It's configurable. You can have 2 miniguns,
just lost
2
2
rocket
viewers,
pods,
just like that.
Fucking Hellfire missiles, whatever fucking get you off. This is mainly a reconnaissance and sometimes close air support. The call sign is Lancer. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, I went from like 7 to 5.
Alright, so this is the AH-64 longbow because it's got the fucking radar dome on top. Carries fucking underground Hellfires, got rocket pods, got the fucking 30 Mike chain gun on the fucking bottom. It's a thing of beauty. Call sign is Warlord. It does some cast runs, but not too much because it is susceptible to AA. Unlike the A-10 can outmaneuver, outfly most AA if
Yes,
he,
these are new
catches
people.
that
They are
spike fast enough.
so they just completed recruit training. So they just finished recruit
That's about
training.
it.
So they're going through the next part of their
Warlord.
they're going through the next part of their training
Way back over
pipeline.
here.
So right now we're in OSUT. So OSUT is a 4-day long course comprised into 2 weeks. So then day 3. So this is their last
This is
instructional period.
Chinook.
So on Thursday they'll be going through a live fire
This is
exercise or
2
full train
squad
exercise to where they get to put in
bird.
everything they've learned. and then get to shoot stuff and use everything. And then after that, they go through their graduation process, which first they have to take their oral quiz. If they do not answer it correctly, then they get
that's about it. Phoenix
they get recycled and they have to go through OSUT again.
Believe it or not, faster speed-wise than
some people just put them. Sometimes if they mess up as well, they get put straight back to recruit training. All the way back to recruit training, depending on how hard they failed. But they only have one chance to do the question. So if they answer so they only are asked one question. So if they get the question correctly, they automatically get recycled. But if they answer the question correctly, then they graduate.
Take a little walk over here.
And then get their speed and all other benefits they get.
Alright, so this fucking thingamajig here, since I forgot it and fucking Private Reed, you remembered it. Why don't you go over this tank with the privates, please?
Alright, this is a T-80. It's one of the 5 or 6 different tanks that you may see OPFOR using. High threat, heavy armor. You will not get a kill shot on it with your law, and you need a pretty accurate AT-4 shot on specific areas of the tank to kill it, but it can be killed from within 150 meters with AT-4. Usually, you leave it to weapons squad and air support, though, because if you are within 150 meters of this thing, you're in trouble. Several of them have coax guns, which can be used for infantry, but they can also fire HE frag shells.
Talking about Sergeant Margietta likes to say it a lot.
Approximately a 20 to 30 meter radius. Is anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. I'm gonna go over something real quick. You just reminded me. Probably read. All right, so when you're all using your AT-4s, your laws, or whatever weapon system you desire to use, you're going to, if you're going to deploy that weapon system, make sure that you hit these parts of armor pieces, either the below the belly. So if you come over here, I'm talking like right here, by the tracks, this will either disable the vehicle from moving or totally rip through the armor from below it and get to the bottom, making an armor piece unoperational. Or you get hit. Follow me back over here. Or you get hit from its rear, right below this engine compartment. You see that right here? So you hit it below here, and then you can get the vehicle at least disabled. Or if you have a good elevated position, you can hit the top of this tank, right above this turret, which is where it's most weakest at, and you can either make the vehicle go catastrophic or disable the turret where it can't even fire anymore. This goes for the same for any other armor piece that you have. It's always strongest from the front, but weakest from its rear and from its top. So always remember that if you're in a dire situation and weapon squad is nowhere near to help you out, and our A-10 pilot cannot get in to assist you or any other air support, then now you know which soft spots you can use or engage with your AT-4. So just remember that.
Quick comment. Nope. AT-4
I can't tell you. I'm not allowed to tell anyone what the questions are.
Angle if you're within like 150, 200 meters. Will penetrate through the back. If you have side shots, side of the turret's a good one, and about 2/5 from the back of the tank will also result in a kill shot.
But yeah, I really don't know. I can't really tell you what the questions are. Not allowed to do that.
Your weapon system and be true and accurate with your shots. If you're good with it, I would suggest going for the turret. I could care less if it's still fucking driving around. I'd rather the turret disabled. Because a disabled Vic is still pretty lethal track-wise. If this turret is still moving. So, yep, try to go for the turret. Communicate with your guys on any kind of armor shot, because you are carrying 2 ATs per squad, and do not want to double hit a piece of armor when one round will do. because it's armor's like AT is like gold in a operation. You don't want to use it unless you have to. All right, so I think that covers. Oh, wait, one. Probably go.
Thank you, Sergeant. Just one last quick comment. Even if you are not billeted as a rifleman, please, for the love of God, train with the AT launchers. Because if you fill in, rifleman is usually the last billet filled, so you will generally be carrying the AT. You got one shot. Not the time to be learning it up.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. They mostly put the least what's the word I'm looking for?
Experienced?
Yes, thank you. The least experienced person as a rifleman. But it doesn't make sense because the rifleman is carrying the AT, which can be a make or break for a squad that is cut off from the rest of the platoon. So I would, if it was me, I would put the more experienced guy with the AT and allow the fucking fresh-faced kid on the AR.
Just take notes. That's what we have them do. We have everybody take notes. That's why we say things again for you if you have any questions, stuff like that.
People like to shoot more than blow stuff up, but I'm the other way around. I like to make stuff go boom. But
and
yes,
not only with the AT4, get practice with the 320 as well and the 203.
Yes. Yeah, I mean you can be fucking devastating with the Florida Mike. So, yeah, if you do happen to be a rifleman and you can't do anything about it and you're fucking called to take a shot and you're not comfortable take it, by all means pass off the AT or M72 to somebody that is okay with taking a shot. You're not going to look like you're any less of a fucking soldier here by doing that. You fucking will get respect a lot faster than you saying, yeah, I got it, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna fucking fuck its world up, and then you miss, and it gets pissed off and starts coming for your squad. So, yep, alright. Let's take let's do a bio break. Fuck it. Kneel down if you're going, stand back up. As soon as you get back, get a glass of water, something to eat, use the bathroom, and we'll get back here in a couple minutes.
What?
What?
Yep, I need some drink.
Alright, we're losing time. I don't like it when we do comments and questions. It wastes way too much time. We only get an hour or two. Make sure that they know how to dismount, mount up to a vehicle, then go into reconvoy procedures, and then try to go over CQB. That's not enough time within an hour. It really isn't.
Sergeant Smith?
Mm-hmm.
The warlord, is it called, is that the Apache?
Yes.
Alright. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Smith.
Yes?
You touched down a BMP-3.
Who?
What?
What?
BMP-3.
What about it?
Can you put one down next to the other ones? I just want to see the comparison.
Give me a second.
I was looking at them, and those all say BMP2 on them.
Let me take. Oh, you want a comparison to something else?
There's no BMP3.
Okay, there's a BMP.
The BMP3 is the one with the tank cannon on it.
Yeah, there's a BMP3.
It's a 100mm
Oh, found it.
rifled cannon.
Oh, that's 2D. Oh, here we go.
What do you have?
Okay. It's got some weird name down here when I looked at it.
The BMP2 has the autocannon, right?
There's a BMP3. Yeah. These are both BMP2s.
Oh, I want to say something about those. Those aren't TOW missiles. NATO missiles are TOW missiles.
Those are Medes M's, aren't they?
Say again?
Aren't those Medes missiles? Medes M or something?
They're wired guided.
Yeah, this one I'm standing right.
Then this one's got that Wile E. Coyote looking one.
This is BMP3.
Fucking at me.
At me.
This is an Abia kit 681. Like, I thought it was BMP2.
Yeah, the 2 has the autocannon.
Or BMP3, rather.
So the BTR with autocannon is basically a BTR with the BMP2 loadout.
Because we only require people to be in training for about 3 hours, so when we go over 3 hours, they're not required to stay in for training. That's why. So yeah, start at 1900. We have 3 hours, so we supposed to end at 10 o'clock.
Sergeant Smith?
Yes?
Sergeant Maljota said something about CAS. I heard about something called CAS and CAT.
CAT? So CAS is close air support, is what he meant.
Is what you get at a fast food Chinese restaurant.
Alright, but yeah.
So yeah, CAS is close air support. Basically, it's when an airframe goes in to support ground infantrymen. So that's what they meant by close air support.
Alright. And the Thunder is good for it, and
yes.
The Warlord, and yeah, those two, right?
Yes. You have the Liberator that could do cast runs as well.
Alright.
Yeah. Mainly, Thunder tends to do close air support, whereas the or gun runs, whereas the Apache tends to set off at long range and snipe tanks that are guided in.
Yeah, because it has the thermal and the night vision in front, right? The cameras.
Yeah.
More so because it can't outfly a Tunguska cannon, whereas Thunder has a chance.
It's a more long distance standoff platform.
And let me touch into that as well. When you have our Apache pilots, the way they operate is not based off of going in, do the gun run, fly out. They operate within the valley. They peek out of a hill, engage target that's been lased, and then peek back down to the hill. And the target will get destroyed before even anyone realize where it came from. So Apache pilots are more of a stealth cast. They'll hide behind a hill, peek out, engage a target, peek back down. No one will know it was them.
Yeah, it's rare that you'll ever even see Warlord in the AO.
The only time you'll see a Warlord in the AO is if it's escorting our birds. That's the only time. Right. But last operation we just had, the last FTX we just had, the Little Bird was going in as support or escorting our transport helicopters.
Alright. Last FTX we nearly got clocked by Warlord with a gun run.
My everyone's back.
Yep, I believe so.
Alright, let's go ahead and head towards our boarding and dismounting our airframes. We're going to start with the UH-60 Blackhawk first, and then we'll go to Chinook, and then we'll go dismounting with the Chinook, then dismounting the Blackhawk, and then you guys demonstrate to us that you know how to do it, correct? All right.
You gonna go over to Sergeant Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, the sloth's voices need a rest.
You watching on my stream?
Possibly.
Alright, bet. So, Jonovic, come over here. I'm sorry, Jonovic.
No problem.
Alright, right here, this is basically you mounting to, so actually let me go this real quick. So when you mount into a Blackhawk and Chinook, there's different ways you mount up to it. The Blackhawk, you mount up to a 90-degree angle. From the Chinook, you mount up to a 45-degree angle, and we'll go over that later on. Alright, so see right now, demonstrators are basically in a 90-degree angle towards the doorway. So you're mounting up from both sides, so from this side and the opposite side. So just imagine these demonstrators doing the same thing on the other side, which you can't see if you go around. I'm sorry, I was just reading something. So right now you see this is a fire team right now because you could put 5 people on each side or 6, depending on the size of the element. And then right now this person right here is a shock leader. The shock leader is basically the person who's in charge of the board. That is the ground infantryman. The person who's in charge of the bird is the pilot. However, the shock leader is the one that's in charge of the ground infantryman on the bird. So when the pilot gives this shock leader the order to dismount the bird, he's the one that organizes it. So he'll tell you when you are allowed to dismount. The shock leader will most likely be your squad leader on this bird, unless there's someone in the higher element. So, right now the shock leader is standing right here because he's waiting on the order from the pilot to board the helicopter. Once the pilot gives him the order, then it's up to the shock leader's discretion or your squad leader's discretion to have you guys mount up the bird. So when you hear the pilot say, yes, you're allowed to mount board into the bird, does not give you the order to mount up. You have to wait for that shock leader or the squad leader to tell you, all right, Alpha Bravo, mount up. Everyone understand me on that?
Sure.
All right, get a little bit closer. Come in closer to me. All right, I'd like to see your reaction. All right, so shock leader gets order from the pilot. Pilot approves it. Now it's the shock leader to tell his teams to mount up. Once the shock leader tells teams to mount up, your job as a fire team leader, it doesn't matter which one of you are going to be, and I'm telling you on Thursday, both of you are going to be the team leader. Once you hear the order from your squad leader or the shock leader say, all right, Alpha Bravo, mount up into the bird, you got to radio to your men saying, mount up. But someone might be daydreaming, looking up at the sky, and that bird just lift off without them knowing. So you can radio to your net saying, Alpha Bravo, or just say Alpha, or clear the board, or whatever. So you can tell your team that, and then you're going to get into the bird. So let's move on to the next process. If you're the fire team leader, you are required to take the door gunner slots. On the left-hand side of the Blackhawk, that slot is called the crew sheath. So if you want to dismount the bird at the same slot you mount up into, make sure you select the crew sheath slot. That's the only thing that will kick you out from a different side. However, if you mount up the same way you mount up, same side you mount up into the bird is the same side you get out. Okay, guys? So if you mount up to the left bird, you get out on the left-hand side. The only thing that is different from that is the slot you pick for the door gunner slots, okay? So if you mount up on the left-hand side of the bird, which is what we're looking at right now, and you select the door gunner slot, it's going to kick you out on the right-hand side of the bird. So go ahead and write this down. Left side of the bird is a crew sheath slot. Right side of the bird is a door gunner slot. This way you won't be confused when the bird touched the ground and then you're trying to figure out why you got kicked out from this side. Alright, let's move on. So like I said, your job is to make sure you take the door gunner slot. Some housekeeping with that position. When you're in a door gunner slot, make sure that Gatling gun is facing towards the ground. Does anyone know the reason why we don't want it facing up in the air?
You can shoot the, I don't know what you call it.
Battery sergeant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at Sergeant Margiota. If he points it up towards the air and his thing was spinning.
You see what's going on where I'm pointing it anywhere's butt down? Everybody gets shot in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm. If he NDs, he's going to accidentally shoot somebody.
There you go.
Or it might ricochet. If he faces it towards the air, he's going to hit the rotors, making the vehicle not being able to fly. So make sure you face towards the ground. This way, you shoot some, you ain't harming anyone. Am I understood?
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright.
Roger.
That's it with the housekeeping with the door gunner slots. But one little small tiny note. Sometimes you may have to make sure you switch your intercom channels to crew. Sometimes the pilot might want to talk to you guys. But just keep the cargo. Wait for the order from your chalk leader or from the pilot to say if he wants you guys on the crew net. Let's move on. Now, if you're not team leader, you're just a team member. When you're boarding to the bird, you gotta make sure you tell your team leader you're in. So, if I was a part of the team of bets, I'm gonna say Smith is in, and then Ahanovich, you'll say Ahanovich is in. Am I saying your name correctly?
Ayanovich.
Ayanovich, okay.
I'm not Spanish, sure.
Oh, okay. Ayanovich? I get it good. I get it soon. Alright, so you... Alright, so once everyone's in the bird, so like I said, if you're a team member, you gotta make sure you let your team leader know that you're in a bird. Team leader, if you're a team leader, you don't have to say Betts is in. Why are you talking to yourself, telling yourself that you're in a bird? You already know you're in a bird, so don't just say, alright, Betts is in, even though you're the team leader, Betts. You get what I'm saying?
Roger, Sergeant.
So you already know you're in a bird. But once you hear 3 people saying that they're in a bird, make sure you hear 3 different names. Somebody might say I'm in a bird and then say I'm in a bird again for some reason. Some people might be weird, I don't know. But when you hear 3 distinctive names say they're in a bird, then you know your whole team's in a bird because you're a part of that team. Once you hear that, then you radio to your squad leader telling him, actually, this is Alpha. We're all in. Over. This way your squad leader can know. So when he hears that Alpha Bravo's in, that bird can finally take off. And then lay down some lead to wherever place they want to lay down lead to. So everyone get the process of boarding the bird.
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, so some quick housekeeping notes as well for the outside. If, for whatever reason that your side is full, it doesn't give you an option to ride to the bird, you have to go around to the other side. Now, don't go around from the rear. If you guys want to end your life, go ahead and go around the rear. But to keep yourself protected and safe, you go around from the front of the bird. Why? So the pilot can see you. Secondly, the tail rotor won't kill you. And then lastly, so the pilot can back up into you. Or take off. Because as you can see, he doesn't have no review mirror. Now, in addition to that, when you go around from the bird, the pilot can see you so he knows that there's someone still trying to get into the bird. What you gotta do as well, and make sure you put a rifle in front of you so it won't look weird, you're going to crouch and walk around the bird, hugging the cabin. This way the tail rotor can hit you. If not, then you're gonna walk out to the front, like this, walk out of the wingspan, make sure you're watching me, follow me here, you're gonna walk around, and around, and around, and then kneel back in and push in from here. Now, if you would ask me, the most easiest way is just hug the bird, kneeling, and go around from that way. Because the other way just takes a whole bunch of time, and that bird needs to take off the air. Alright, now, this is all based off of in theory, and when you're in base. If you were in a live combat situation, just try to get to the bird, kneeling down like this, and get to the doorway, okay? Make sure you're still kneeling, though. For some reason I can't kneel for some reason because I have my rifle on my back. But when you're in a combat zone, you still board into the same procedure, but it could be a little sloppy because you got bullets flying at you. You want to get out there as quickly as possible. Alright, anything I missed? I love to talk. And I talk about extra...
Yep. Well, just want to emphasize when you're getting on the bird with a hot extract, or any kind of extract, no lollygagging. Get your ass on there.
What was funny?
Call in that you're on the bird.
Was this something he said?
And
yeah, Marcia is funny a little bit.
that's all you do. Just get in.
Choking
as
on.
fast as possible.
So his tea, I think he was drinking his tea, I think.
Call it in so the fucking helicopter can take off. If you do find yourself on the miniguns and there are enemies around in that area, don't be scared to open up with those miniguns and start suppressing them. Because chances are there's a second bird in the AO with the one you're on. So The least you can do is lay down some cover fire for that bird, and they would do vice versa. If you're still on the ground and they have lifted already, they'll start laying suppressive fire. If you lift before they do, you start putting down suppressive fire. That's all.
Thank you, Sergeant. Look, some McCoy has some cinching in. Nope.
What's that, Sergeant?
I thought you had some. You're inching in a little bit.
I do have one last comment.
Okay.
Actually. So you see how these gentlemen in front of you, the demonstration troops here, have their weapons out and ready. So whenever you load a bird, make sure that you are ready to fight as soon as you exit, because when you exit the bird, your weapon's going to be wherever you left it when you got in. So make sure your weapon's conditioned, magazine loaded, ready. As soon as you get out, you don't want to be slinging your rifle off your back when you get out in a hot LZ. So make sure you're ready to fight when you load.
Thank you, Specialist. Yep, that's something I do need to point out. Thank you for reminding me. As you see right now, these gentlemen are waiting to get in the bird. When you get ordered to board into the bird, you're going to put your rifle up like this, and you're going to take it off of safety, point it away from your buddy, and then board into the bird. Like the Specialist said, the way you get into the bird is the same when you get out. And remember, we're going into a combat zone, so we got to make sure that our rifle is ready to shoot anything that may appear.
Yep. So since everybody here is fucking right-handed, just turn your body a hair to the right, and you'll have the muzzle of your rifle will be pretty much off the right side of their shoulder.
And point to the ground as well. You don't want to hit the bird as well.
Right. You want to go over?
Yes, this will go on YouTube.
Stay fucked up. With
yes.
Mounting, dismounting.
Thank you for reminding about that. If you excuse me, so what may happen is that sometimes something may be an error on your side. So if you stay effed up, if you get effed up, stay effed up. So if you get dismounted off the bird at the wrong side and the bird just landed on the ground, don't go around because you're making the pilot get nervous. He's going to stay there because he thinks that you might need to get back to the bird. So if you get kicked off from the wrong side of the bird, you're going to stay in that little dismount formation and wait for the bird to get off. Your team's still over there. So don't try to go back around. And also, I think that ties into the effed up, say effed up. So yes, if you get kicked off from the wrong side of the bird, just stay where you're at, because you're gonna distract the pilot and make him think that something's wrong, and he won't take off. All right.
Copy that.
Any more things?
I just got one last thing, Sergeant.
Go ahead.
I actually forgot to add this as far as loading in. So once your weapon's conditioned, I found personally what I like to do is I leave my safety on.
Oh, whose dice?
The bird, because when you're in the bird, you can still toggle your safety.
So what's your name? Were you part of TFE?
Call for 30 seconds.
And yes, this video will go on YouTube. Oh yeah, Margiata, he supports me. He's my battle buddy in OSUT.
Than, just utilizing your inventory to condition your weapon, but you should be ready to go.
I don't think he was watching. I think he's just looking at the chat. But
practice safe.
Yeah, now you know to watch what you say. Thank you, Specialist. All right, let's go ahead and move to Chinook. All right, CH-47. All right, so as I said, you board into Chinook, and you guys gotta be running. Don't be just walking. Show enthusiasm y'all want to learn, so make sure y'all be running on my same pace. Alright, so as I said, there's a little distinction between the Chinook and the Blackhawk. These guys are mounted up in a 45-degree angle. So let's go ahead and give you guys a pop quiz. Do you guys know the reason why they're doing like they're actually in this kind of angle into the bird?
Oh shit.
Hey, Raphael, Marcel. Nope, you don't know? Okay. Alright, so if you look at the top of the bird, what you see that looks different? Not the rotary rings. There's something different up there that the Blackhawk doesn't have.
It's the
Yep, the burners. So the way the burners spit off is like a should say like a triangle, a backward triangle. So basically, it spits off like this. So it's gonna almost a kind of a degree angle like this. So basically, if you stand at a 45-degree angle from the actual bin of the ramp, you're away from the burner. Now you don't have to worry about worrying about third degree, second degree, or first degree burn and trying to file a lawsuit against the Chinook. So you board the Chinook into a 45-degree angle, allowing yourself to actually be combat ready when you get out that bird without having to burn and cry while shooting at your enemy. Now moving on. So once again, same thing when you load into the Blackhawk, just different formation style. Get a little bit closer to me, please. Closer, closer, closer. So basically, this is a squad lining up now. This is not a team, because like we said before, a Chinook can hold 2 squads plus some. I think that's a total of 24 or more, if you take the gunner slot or not. And there right behind me is a shock leader. Shock leader won't be a squad leader this time because there's 2 squads in the Chinook. So most likely your shock leader would be maybe your platoon HQ or somebody who's in charge of the bird. So we'll move on to that. Sorry, so you're going to wait. So when you load into this formation like this, same thing to Black Hawk, but we're very stingy on make sure you wait your turn. The reason why we want to make sure you wait your turns because when you have multiple people boarding into the Chinook, what happens is that one person can't get in. They'll still be able to get in, but you won't be able to get in. So you're going to slow down the line if you're trying to skip your turn. So you're going to sit here and wait. What happens if someone behind you tries to board in and I'm trying to board in and the person to my right is trying to board in, then one of us won't be able to board in. And there's going to be a confusion. But then only one person can board in and the whole line's going to be stalled out and it'll take longer for a whole task force to get inside a bird. So wait your turn when you're boarding to the bird. It's the same thing the way it goes in the combat zone, however, it's a little bit rushed. So it may happen. But when you're in a safe zone like a Blue 4 base, like we're in right now, take your time, wait your turn. Now, you're going to do the same thing what you do within your team level, your squad level. You're going to say Smith is in, Ajanovich is in, I think I said it correctly, and Betts is in. And then, let's pretend my name is Sergeant Hardass, then I'll know, alright, my whole team is in. And then I'll radio to my squad leader, which is Actual, this is Alpha, we're all in. Same thing as it goes. But however, this time, the squad leader has to report into his shock leader or his task force commander, whoever else is in charge of that bird, so then they can let the pilot know. Any questions from you two?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. We'll go over something that's very important, which is related to dismounting. Let's go ahead and follow me. Alright. So, dismounting at Chinook's a little bit different. No, I shouldn't say different. It's a tad bit different from the Black Hawk. You're always going to be dismounting in a 180-degree circle, as you see right now. So, the semicircle. And you're going to have 2 guys watching the front of the bird, as you see here to my left and to your right. They're going to be watching the front of the bird because there's no security to the front of the bird, so anybody could just run out of nowhere and shoot our pilot. All they need is a 7.62 round or higher caliber, and they could take the pilot out when this bird can't even take off anymore. And you don't expect any more extraction for any more time on. So we're protecting the front of the bird so the pilot won't get hit by any RPG or rifleman in that case. Now, like I said, we turn back around. Look at that 180-degree circle that was made, or semicircle. This is how a whole element dismounts out of the Chinook. So you're gonna run out, and then you can just find your place. Now it's a little different with the rifle because it makes you run a little bit quicker. So when we go over the demonstrations, you're going to actually take out your rifle. Now, if you're the first 2 people out the bird, you're in charge of watching the left and right. Or should I say, you're in charge of watching the front of the bird. So if I dismount, if I'm on the right hand side of the bird, and I'm in these front 2 seats, it's open. Alright, stand by for a quick second. Alright, you saw the seat, and did you guys see what seat I was in as well?
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, yeah. Those are the ramp seats. If you're in the left ramp seat or right ramp seat, you're the first 2 people who will be dismounting the bird. And I'll go over that later on. So you're going to dismount the bird, you're going to run out, and you're going to take the front of the security of the bird. Okay? The reason for that is because everyone else that's dismounting was going to have to automatically go to the front. Go to the rear of the bird and take security, as you see right now behind you. So your mount is to be the first ones dismount the bird, take the front of security, because everybody will start forgetting to watch security in the front. So it's your job as the people in those front 2 seats to take up security onto the front. Now when you dismount the bird, don't worry about trying to hold the sector, okay? But try to keep in mind, I know a lot of information running through your head, but try to see what sector is not being watched, okay? So if you and a whole bunch of people are on the left-hand side of the whole semicircle, and the right-hand side is not being watched, continue watching your left-hand side. Depending on what position you're on, if you could take up that sector. But try to watch the sector that's not being watched. So try to at least get everything in your head running, and try to figure out, okay, is someone watching the front of the bird? Is someone watching this sector? Get what I'm saying? All right, awesome.
Yes, Sergeant.
All right, let's go ahead and mount up to the bird. Let's show you the dismount order. So go ahead and select your slot. Don't take the runner. Don't take the runner. Don't worry about that right now. If you don't mind, helper is mounting up as well. Help me out real quick. Thank you. Very kind people, you know. Can everyone hear me? Private Bets and Yanovich.
Didn't hear anything over the radio about your being in.
I can hear you, Sergeant.
And as what Sergeant Marjorie said, you not say that you're in. So make sure when we go over the real demonstration that you say that you are in the bird.
Roger, Sergeant.
As you can see, Sergeant Margiotta is mad. Look at him. He's going after you guys right now. So make sure you do what I just said. Alright. Let's go ahead and move on. So as you can see right now, Specialist McCoy and I are in the ramp seats. The seat will always be filled because this bird will most likely be completely filled in an actual operation. So the first person out this bird would be Specialist McCoy. He's the first one out the bird. The next person out the bird is me. And then the third person out the bird would be the person on the right of Specialist McCoy. Then the fourth person out the bird would be the person on my left. You see how the zigzag formation goes in like that? Do you see it?
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, so I'm glad you guys understand. So that's the way how it basically will dismount. So if Special McCoy and I dismount the bird, who's the next person to dismount?
The person to the right, Specialist McCoy, Sergeant.
I'm pertaining to the people who are in the bird right now.
Private Gillen, Sergeant.
Yes, and then who's after him?
I would be, Sergeant?
No.
Oh.
You're not in front of him.
Oh, Roger. Then it would be Private Reed, Sergeant.
Yes, and then who's after him?
Then it would be me, Sergeant.
And who's after you?
Private Yanovich, Sergeant.
And Yanovich, you understand, correct?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, awesome. Alright, now the most critical thing you gotta remember is that door gunners are the last one to dismount the bird. Why? Because they have a Gatling gun that could shoot out a bunch of lead, a lot more than any other regular rifleman can. So they are almost just like the AR, but they are of the bird. So you're the last one to dismount the bird because you're able to provide a suppressive fire for the troops that are mounting up or dismounting, okay?
Yes, Sergeant.
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, so we're going to do a practice dismount. Don't worry about taking the formation of that little semicircle. We're just going to dismount, okay? So the bird just touched the ground or dismount.
McCoy out.
Smith is out.
Go. Right out. McCoy set, covering west.
Bets is
Right
out.
set, covering northwest.
Yanovich, I didn't hear you say that you're out.
Ayanich is out.
Awesome. Alright. So when you dismount, remember, like I said, you take up your sectors, okay? But I don't want to go over that real quick because you got our demonstrators in the way, and we don't want to mess up the little pretty formation. Alright. Special McCoy?
Thanks, Sergeant. Yeah, just keep in mind, so this is just one squad for demonstration purposes that's covering here. In actuality, it's going to be twice as many people because this bird can hold 2 squads plus a couple seats. So it's going to be a lot more crowded in an actual scenario.
Yes, definitely will. Thank you, Special McCoy. He is totally right.
What?
Yep, just imagine a whole platoon coming out this bird. Well, not a whole platoon, but 2 squads. Alright, go ahead and follow me to the Black Hawk. Sergeant Marjorie, do you have anything?
Nope.
Alright, let's go ahead and go to Black Hawk. Alright, as beautiful as our demonstrator is showing us right now, it's another half circle. However, they're doing a whole 360 of the bird, so you don't worry about somebody watching the front or rear, because when you kick out this bird, a fire team will be dismounting from each side, and they'll be basically watching a 180-degree circle. So, this formation usually always just fall in as itself, because when people jump out the bird, they just jump out, and they'll lay down, so this formation will form. Now, one thing you gotta make sure you take note of is that you set a formation, the head of the rifle is basically on line of these waters. See right now? So when you dismount the bird, make sure you're a little bit away from the side of the bird, because what happens is that if an RPG blast hits the bird, you're not hit. Squad leader will be hit, and the squad medic would be hit, but you won't. So, and then take note of the spacing. If 40 Mike hits the front of the bird, only person that will be hit is Blackburn. But if Blackburn was over here, a little more closer to the right, and his buddy was right on his butt, then both of them will go down. So take a note of the spacing as well. Now, you dismount the bird, make sure it's a perfect 180 security, watching the whole sector side of your bird. So someone should be being focused on watching the front of the bird and the rear. Now, you could also put your head to swivel. You guys know how to do that, correct?
Alt, Sergeant.
Yes, Alt, yes. You just put your head to swivel, keep your rifle pointing your sector, but keep your head to swivel, that way you can watch the front of the bird if you're on this side. Keep your head to swivel, that way you can watch the rear of the bird if you're on this side. As you can see, the RD demonstrators are showing you how it would look like if you dismount it quickly in a combat zone. You see how their circles, they're not in actual perfect dismount view. You see how there's two guys kind of watching the same circle, but you see how their heads are on a swivel. You see it?
Roger,
Yeah.
Sergeant.
So that's something you gotta keep a note of. Alright, so when you dismount the bird, you're gonna say Smith is out, Ayanovich is out, Betts is out, Gillen is out, Specialist McCoy is out, Private Reed's out, Sergeant Margiotta is out. You gotta make sure you say that, because guess what? If I don't hear two of my guys saying they're out, and I say Actuals is out, if I got two of my guys are out, one of them are still in the bird, the pilot will just take off and get off of there. A. Or B, the pilot might just stay and wait for you to get out that bird, stalling the bird from takeoff a little bit longer, and then that will give an enemy armor piece 30 seconds quicker to react and wait for the bird to get back in the air so they can shoot it back down. So remember that. Yeah, Special McCoy.
Thanks, Sergeant. So, fucking, for the love of God, make sure you're saying it over the radio, because these things are loud. You got earplugs in. Could be shots going out. No one's going to hear you if you just yell, so-and-so's out. So make sure you're sending it up on the radio.
Roger.
Copy that.
Yep, put on your big boy voice. You're soldiers, not babies. Alright, so Sergeant Margiotta, you have something?
Excuse me, gentlemen. The radio thing. Don't be afraid to use your radio.
Pennies over twists on wood.
Probably the most important weapon we carry on us, next to our M4s.
Is that Margiotta? Is he
Don't be afraid to use it.
Anthony?
Not gonna sound dumb. Communicate with your fucking brothers in arms. Let them know what's going on, what you see. Talk to your battle buddy. And fucking go kick ass.
Alright, hooah. Alright. Any questions? Private.
No, Sergeant.
Alright. And something that Sergeant Margiotta and I, why I said specialist? Sergeant Margiotta said earlier is that you gotta make sure if you get kicked out the wrong side of the bird, you just stay effed. Because you don't want to distract the pilot thinking that something's wrong, that you left your little lollipop inside the bird and you want to get it back, and the pilot's trying to stay there, let you get your lollipop to comfort you. So make sure you stay when you kicked out, so the pilot can get out the LZ in the danger zone as soon as possible. Am I understood?
Roger, Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, y'all confident? You got the gist of it?
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, you're about to show me that you know. Alright, we're gonna go. I want you guys to go ahead and show me how it'll look like when you're mounting into the bird. Okay, so it's almost the same thing in your PCC formation. Fire team your AR, Grenadier, then Rifleman. Your rifle will be pointed towards the ground. You'll be right there. Yep, you're waiting for your squad leader to tell you to mount into the bird.
Yeah, Sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to have Private Reed and Private Gillen fill in for the...
Yes, please. Thank you. Alright, and squeeze in that little thing right here. Squeeze it in. Yep.
Not the butt.
Yep, your nut should be touching his butt. There you go.
Ayanovich, put your weapon down. Double click control. There we go.
Alright, yep, they won't be flagging him. Alright. Alright. Chief Margiotta would be our pilot for today.
Yeah, let's open us up a little bit more.
I love the sound of this. Permission to board? Alpha, you're granted to board the bird.
Alright, Alpha, we're cleared to board the helicopter.
Rifles pointed up. Get that turret facing towards the ground. Gillis in. Alright, make sure you say actual, this is Alpha, we're all in. Roger, Alpha, out. Alright, the bird just touched the ground. Go ahead, dismount. The bird touched the ground. Alpha, dismount. The bird touched the ground. The bird just landed. We're missing one person. Someone supposed to be dismounted at the bird. Alright, Roger. Roger. Can you cut the engine real quick? Thank you. Alright, dismounting out the bird was a little too slow. Alright, so like I said, we're in the combat zone. So in the Blackhawk, I forgot to point this out. Alright, rally on me real quick. Let's get outside the wingspan. Alright, something I forgot to point out. The Chinook, dismount Chinook, the Blackhawk's a little bit different from the Chinook. You don't have to worry about waiting your turn. Just dismount. The bird just touched the ground, just dismount the bird. But for the Door Guardians, you're the last ones out. Same thing, so you did perfect bets. But remember, when you dismount out of the Blackhawk, you don't have to wait your turn. You just get out and get your spot. Like I said, you're mounted up on the left-hand side of the bird, you select the crew chief slot. You're mounted up on the right-hand side of the bird, you select the Door Gunner slot. Yeah, that's okay. It's completely fine. Everything happens in the operation. Nobody needs to actually worry about that. But remember, get out the bird quickly and swiftly and say you're out. Get a bird quickly and swiftly and say you're in. Special McCoy?
Thank you, Sergeant. So I noticed when a couple of you guys loaded in, you were on set to walking. So make sure you're on jog. The last thing you want to do is get out and be, just pussyfooting 1 foot at a time. You want to get out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I don't know why, Specialist, but I'm stuck on walking, and I've left Control C and...
Try double tapping Charlie, and then switch it.
No, that's just your...
And then double tap it again, and now switch toggle.
It just happened to me as well.
Okay, it is a glitch sometimes, so...
Yeah.
But, so you know.
Roger.
Yep, you just try to figure that out after OSUT. That way, you're ready for day 4. And actually, when you load it in as well, on day 4 and Thursday, try to make sure you are able to get yourself to walking and running this way. We're about doing that in the middle of combat. Alright, so we've just seen, let's go ahead and try this one more time. So go ahead and get up to side. Oh, Sergeant Margiotta? Have something?
I was just saying, you see why you need comms. That some bitch is loud. Yelling is not going to be enough. You're going to hear a lot of people saying, what? It's so freaking loud. Normally, dismounts go a lot better when we don't have the engines on, but I decided to throw a little curveball today, and it, seeing how fast it got food barred up. Alright, we'll try it again. Private Reed, you have a comment?
Yeah, just quick comment. When you get in or get up to the Blackhawk, if the door isn't opening it up makes mounting and dismounting faster.
Right.
Otherwise, each person has to individually open it.
Just learned something new today.
Yep.
Roger.
Alright, y'all ready? Let's go ahead and do that again.
I'll fill in.
Put your rifle on your hand, and make sure you communicate to me on squad net, not just on your team net.
Roger, Sergeant.
Got a lot of firepower.
We're gonna wait for the bird to fully spill up Alpha, and then I'll ask for permission.
Solid copy. Actual.
Permission to board.
Mission ready.
Alright, Alpha, this is actual. You're clear to board.
Solid copy. Actual. Alpha, let's board.
He forgot again to take the crew chief slot. It's funny.
Actual, this is Alpha. Everyone's in bird.
Roger. Pilot, we're all in. Alright, guys. Alpha, when you see that, I should say this to everybody. When you see that door open, that means that the bird touched the ground, okay? Radio that to your men, Mayanovich.
Can you repeat that again, Sergeant?
When the door opens, that's your cue to dismount. So tell Betts that as well. I'm sorry, tell Yanovich that as well.
Roger, Sergeant. Private Yanovich, when the door opens, that's your cue to dismount.
Just pretend that the bird touched the ground. So that when the door opens, that means the bird touched the ground.
As the bird touches the ground, doors open, that's our cue to dismount.
All right, on your discretion, Sergeant Margiota. Dismount.
Actual, Alpha's out.
Roger, Alpha. Actual out. All right, get on my pause real quick. All right, as far as from what I've seen, that was better than what I saw before. Let's just fraggo what I said about dismounting last as a door gunner because it took you a while still to dismount. So just dismount immediately. But that's different from the Chinook though. Do not fraggo it for the Chinook. When you dismount the Chinook, you wait for everyone in those cargo seats to dismount before you dismount as your door gunner or crew chief. Okay?
Roger, Sergeant. I only heard 2 people, so from what I heard, I only heard 2 people, so I took a peek to see if someone was still in, and I realized everyone was out.
Yeah, when the fucking Black Hawk is so small, when you dismount and you're the gunner, you might as well dismount as soon as you hit the ground because everybody can dismount in one mass exodus, unlike the Chinook where you had to take your turn. So all 14 people can dismount the Black Hawk at the same time and there'll be no problems.
Roger.
Yep.
Alright, let's go ahead and move down over here and take initiative. If you don't hear your last man saying they're out, then just say, who am I missing? Yep.
Reed had a comment.
Yes, Reed?
Thank you, Sergeant.
You're welcome.
The reason why you mainly need to take turns with the Chinook is A, for emergency.
Just about to go over that.
Because of an Arma reason.
Just about
if
to.
Too many people get out of the Chinook at the same time, it will stack you on top of each other's heads and put somebody's head into the rotor blade and blow it up.
Makes sense.
Thank you, Private.
Make sure you take your turns with the Chinook.
Thank you. Alright.
You're lucky. One last thing. You're lucky I didn't have fucking Zeus handy. I would have fucking laid a mortar right on top of y'all's fucking head. Can you tell me why? Private Bets.
Well, the team might have been stacked on the right side or left side, Sergeant.
No. You don't. You said a fucking word that you shouldn't say.
Yep, say again what you just said.
Because Alpha team was stacked on top of each other's heads.
No.
said the R word.
With an R.
What word does the... There you go.
Repeat last.
Don't say it again. Don't say it. Alright, so remember, instead of saying repeat, you will say... Notice I didn't say the full word, the actual word. You're going to say again. Or read back.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Get in. Yep, get in.
Kicked myself in the head too, Sergeant, for that when I said it.
Yep, just get in the start learning, repeat, and start learning. Say again.
Huh.
I was add one comment, Sergeant. So me.
Maybe.
Proceed.
Yep.
So private bets. I noticed that you called yourself as in and out over the radio. So as a team leader, sir, you don't need to do that. You know that you're in and out, right? You
Roger.
You have situational awareness, right? So your job is to pay
Sorry,
attention to
my bad.
the other guys in your charge. So don't worry about calling yourself in or out. Just focus on.
I can't believe I just said that.
making sure your guys
Just
are
laughed out
on the
loud like
radio.
that.
Roger, specialist.
Alright,
That's all. Thanks, Sergeant.
let's...
We're not trying to make fun of you. It's constructive criticism.
Cool.
We all had it, and it's not going to be... This is nowhere as near the constructive criticism you're going to get fucking Thursday.
My bad, I was laughing at my chat. Alright, let's go ahead and form a 45-degree angle on the bird. Pretend that a squad's behind you as well, so pretend that. Go ahead and form a 45-degree angle, Private Betson, Private Yanovich. Remember, FTL in front. Want to reach each other on squad net then?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So usually we have our attack Ps do this. Give us permission sometimes. And usually it's not attack P, usually just the chalk leader. But we'll talk to the pilot through over squad net. Permission aboard.
Permission granted.
Alright. We're gonna wait here till that bird spills off completely. Alpha, this is actual. Go ahead and board the bird. Over.
Roger, actual. Alpha, let's board the bird.
Once again, once the ramp's going to close, pretending the bird just took off. Then the ramp's going to open back up, pretending that the bird landed.
Alpha is in the bird.
Roger, Alpha. Over. Pilot, this is actual. All in. Over.
Good copy, Lieutenant.
The bird touched the ground. Smith is out. Alpha, this is actual. You're all out. Over.
Actual, Alpha is out of the bird.
Roger, Alpha. Actual out. Alright, go ahead and recover on me. Not too shabby. Think that went well.
Yep, just a little bit. Who was the first one off?
I was, Sergeant.
Alright, yeah, just a little bit faster reaction time.
Roger.
But no, it's fun. You're gonna get plenty of
What he said wrong. So he said the pro word repeat. Repeat's used
I
for
did
call
see a
for
little
fire,
stutter
which is
step.
for
I don't know if this is
mortar
something
fire
you
or
mentioned, probably, but
artillery
I
fire.
seen- I didn't get to see names, but I seen when y'all caught out.
Yeah, he. I don't know if.
Right
I think
over
he
here
said it.
and
I don't
there,
know.
and they
Marjetta.
decided to
Think Marjetta caught the word repeat.
end
I
up
didn't
in a
hear it.
certain location.
But
It really does
he
not
said the
matter.
pro word repeat, and repeat's meant for
Actually,
call
you're
for
the first
fire
one off.
and I'm sorry for
So
mortar
the
fire or
first
artillery
two that
fire.
are off should
So
be
when they when a call for fire is sent to a mortar team or artillery team, when they launch those shells and the shells hit the location, the pro word repeat means go ahead and do the same order again. So if I tell mortar team to launch 8 shells at grid coordinates, so call for fire, fire for effect, grid coordinates, this and that, that and that, over, and they talk back to me again, they launch shells, and I can say, repeat last call or whatever it might be saying, and then adjust 100 meters south, 200 meters east or whatever. So that's what they say repeat for.
Okay.
So if a mortar team accidentally hears the word repeat, they'll just send around back to the same location that we've just said call for fire for, if you get what I mean.
You jump the line, you gotta make sure that you get out in the proper order. Because if you do get out at the same time as 1 or 2 other people, not only is that going to ruin this airframe, it's going to set it off like a bomb, and that might wipe out half a platoon of people. So you really got to be careful getting out.
Thank you, Private Reed. And we'll take over one note as well. I need to say, if the person next to you is not moving or have not dismounted, the person in front of you or the left of you, then if they haven't moved within 5 to 10 seconds, then you're allowed to dismount the bird and skip your line. However, the order still continues to go. But however, everybody else is just going to skip that guy because he's probably daydreaming or on his phone doing whatever else. All right, any questions or any more comments before we move on?
One last. Oh, yeah, go. Probably.
No. I'll wait.
Just a little tip. It's cool.
Yes.
In third person when you're flying to
thank you, Matt Coy.
but right before you land, switch over to first person. So you're inside the cargo hold of the helicopter, and you can look left and right, and you can actually see the guys leaving their seat up to your turn. So it's a lot easier to do it that way. That's all I have.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Yep. Private Yanovich, comment, question?
Comment and question. Just to be sure, the gunner, who are occupying them?
Team leaders are, yep, it won't be a squad. The squad leader won't be occupying that.
So you'll have 4 team leads. Have whoever out of those 4 get to those 2 gun seats get to be gunners.
All right. So let's say in the last day 4, if we're both gonna be team lead, Private Betts and I, then we are taking the gunners seat.
Correct. Yes, if we can find a pilot who will be kind enough to airlift us in, yes.
Yep. Well, now you know, right. Big man gamer. So you shouldn't mess up if you ever get a chance to get Arma 3.
I wrote it down. The dismount from Chinook is by zigzagging, and
correct.
Why I was waiting a little bit or hesitating is because I was looking at the person across of me, and I could see he was not moving. So I was thinking, should I wait or should I move? And then when I saw nothing was happening, I just took the decision to go out.
No, that's fun. You did right. You waited a minute. Well, not a minute, but you gave it a second, and then you went. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You shouldn't just sit there and wait because they could be lag and they could be desynced of some sort. So, yeah, I mean, no troubles there. You did right.
All right. Just to make sure that I did it correct.
Correct. Yes, you did.
It's a bit more obvious because I hadn't seen McCoy get out yet. So I was still waiting. But it's more obvious when you get like 20 or 30 people in the Chinook.
Yep.
And you can just see the line going down.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
So I just have one comment to add to what Sergeant Margiotta said about third person.
Go.
Okay, so yeah, using third person is awesome and it's fun to look around when you're flying or in any Vic. Using third person is can be advantageous, but for immersion purposes, keep in mind that for all intents and purposes, you cannot see out of these vehicles. You know, Black Hawk, kind of, but the Chinook you can't see out. The MRAPs you can't see out. So if you are using third person to look around and you do see something, you see hostile tracers, whatever you see, make sure you're not calling that up because, for immersion's sake, you can't actually see that. So just keep that in mind.
Copy that.
Yep.
Roger, Specialist. Quick question on that. If you're a door gunner, are you allowed to call it out, Specialist?
That's fine. If you can literally see it in first person, that's fine.
Roger.
But if you're in third person, like swinging around the outside of the bird, taking in the sights, make sure you're not abusing that privilege.
Roger.
And abusing that privilege goes as far as peeking over fences and whatnot.
Or cutting
In
corners
third
in
person.
third
Yes,
person
cut
as well.
corner. Correct.
Is that allowed?
No.
Negative.
Copy that.
What exactly is cutting a corner, Sergeant?
So, like, if you
Yep. Give
if you're
him a
looking around
demonstration.
the corner, you're pieing a corner and you're in third person, you can adjust your camera to see around the corner that you wouldn't normally see.
So right now, I can see the right hand side.
All you would have to do is hold Alt and bring your camera view around, and it will give you the entire picture of around the wall.
Roger. That's it. Me and my buddies.
So you can see the right hand side as well right now. If you go right here, Yanovich, you can see what's behind this wall.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's cutting the corner.
Left side.
No,
Roger.
that's fucking cheating. You can't do that shit in real life.
So that actually ties into what we're about to go over next. If there are more questions or comments.
Yep. We know it's a video game, just
We try to put realism into it.
make it fun for everybody. Yep. Don't fuck up my immersion.
Well, I hope you can. Yeah, especially the captain. You don't want to break the immersion of the captain because you will get your butt chewed. Let's go ahead and move on over here.
Yep.
And the first sergeant as well.
Well, for anybody.
Anybody.
Mr. Lee was the one during that one fun op.
Alright, let's go ahead and Alright, so this is the last vehicle PID you'll be going to ever say, but does anyone know what MRAP stands for? Alright.
Give me 2 seconds, I can Google it.
No. Smart boy. Alright, so MRAP is mine resistant ambush protected. These are what all these vehicles you see right now. If you look to your left right now in that mortar pool, you'll see another MRAP. Come follow me. This one right here. That's the MRAP as well. There's 2 variants of MRAPs. Right now, as you see right now, what we have deployed on this road, made up road, is the Cougars. And then, right here, this is your RG-33. So we have 2 types of MRAPs. Our main MRAPs we will take is the Cougar right here. The reason why we take the Cougar is because it is a newer version and is more protected than what the regular RG-33s can. They don't have these cages that the actual Cougars have. So right now, this is a Cougar mounted. It can either have the Mark 19 or the M2 on top of it, and you know what the variants those are. Either launch portamatic shells or regular 7.62 rounds. I'm sorry, 50 caliber rounds. All right, so MRAPs are our main way of transportation within the unit. We may use a different source if we try to commandeer one, but MRAPs are our main way of transporting within the ground. All right, so let's move on. Alright, so within a convoy, or within your whole fire team, you have your actual positions within the actual vehicle. So, everyone knows there's 40 people inside our fire team, correct? Alright, awesome. So, within the fire team, the team that's in charge of the vehicle, which let's say pretend you guys, Alpha is in charge of the vehicle, you guys have your own set of roles within the actual vehicle. So, which one was fire team? Bets, right? Bets, you as a fire team leader, you're just the actual vehicle commander. Ayanovich, you as the AR, you're just a passenger. Now, the second buddy team, the Grenadier and the Rifleman, the Grenadier is the gunner, and the Rifleman is the driver. So, whenever the vehicle is dismounting, you have your dismount team within the fire team. That would be Bets and Yanovich, which you both get a fire team leader, and that's your AR. And then you have the team that actually is inside the Vic, which is the Grenadier and AR. I'm sorry, the Grenadier and the Rifleman. Let's continue on. Then go ahead and expand on that. So, whenever you're mounting inside of the vehicle, sorry, something froze up. Give me a second. Sound like I still have T-Far up, correct? Is it good?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure. Alright. So you have your buddy teams, like I said, is the driver and the gunner. And then the other buddy team would be the vehicle commander and passenger. And like I said, the vehicle commander and passenger would be Bets and Yanovich, both of you are fire team leaders in AR. And then the driver and gunner, the driver and the gunner would be your Grenadier and Rifleman. So the mounting sequence, the way you mount it to the these MRAPs is that it goes by this order. The driver and the gunner, that buddy team, will mount up first. It's a mount of the order. Those two will mount up in the Vic first. Then after that, then it will be the second buddy team. It will be the vehicle commander mounts to the bird. I'm sorry, mounts into the vehicle first. So that's you bets. You're mounting up in there, the fire team leader. Then lastly is the automatic rifleman. Why, you ask? Because your weapon system is able to release more lead than an actual rifleman can. So you can provide suppressive fire for all these guys who are trying to get into the side of this vehicle. To the last one, to the actual Vic.
That was for a squad, Sergeant? Or not a squad, but repeat the second part.
Say again. Say again, not repeat.
Can you say that last part again, Sergeant? Because I was writing down a different part and I didn't really get the whole thing.
Okay, so this is the mounting sequence. So the buddy team, so basically the driver and the gunner, they're the first ones to mount into the actual vehicle. So that's your gunner. I'm sorry, that's your grenadier and your rifleman. So they're the first people to mount into the vehicle. And you know who the gunner and driver is, correct?
Roger.
Okay. So those first people to mount into the actual vehicle, it doesn't matter by the order, they're just the first group. The next person to get into the vehicle would be the fire team leader. He's the next person. He's the vehicle commander. So that's the second person in the vehicle. Then lastly, the AR is the last one into the vehicle because his weapon system can shoot out more bullets than an actual rifleman can.
Roger, Sergeant.
Alright, awesome. Let's go to vehicle security. So, the automatic rifleman is the first off and is the first one off the vehicle and the last one to get into the vehicle because he's able to provide the highest level of security that any other person in the team can. And you know the reason why. His weapon system can launch more rounds than the actual M4 can.
Cool.
So now when dismounted out of the vehicle, your number one task is to make sure the vehicle is secured. So if you're the team in charge of that Vic, your number one task is to make sure the vehicle is secured in a good location. You don't put the Vic in an intersection because it can be attacked from 3 angles or 4 angles, depending on what kind of intersection it is, T-section or a cross-section. So you make sure the vehicle is in a good position behind some good cover and be able to at least support the infantry element and at the same time keeping itself protected. Alright, so here are the basic ways of dismounting. When you dismount the vehicle, make sure that you're at least 8 meters, I'll say again, 8 meters away from the vehicle. The reason for this is to make sure that you avoid any explosions around the vehicle or on the vehicle. Say the vehicle landed on top of an IED, we didn't know, then it finally exploded. At least you don't worry about being that much affected because the vehicle will absorb most of it. It's a mine-resistant ammo-protected vehicle, so it's able to withstand mines, stuff like that. And take a note that these vehicles can take RPGs and mines and IEDs. However, sometimes it may still be operational, but it's meant to be that way so that if it ever gets hit, the infantryman inside the vehicle can actually dismount and get out of there alive. That's what it's designed for. It's not designed to be a beast of a vehicle where it could take many RPG rounds and mines and still be able to keep moving. It's just designed to be able to protect the infantryman inside the vehicle. And it's actually a V, and the bottom of the actual Vic, you'll see it is shaped as a V, so that when the ID gets blown off, it actually goes off the side of the vehicle and goes to the right, so it doesn't explode the compartment in the bottom, because the bottom of the vehicle is very less armored. So go ahead and move on. For whatever reason, do not cross the road whenever the vehicles are in a herringbone. Right now, these vehicles are in a herringbone. So don't cross the road. Stay on your side of the road. So if we dismounted this vehicle, you stay on this left-hand side of the road or the southern side of the road. Reason for that is that sometimes the vehicle might be in a herringbone to let other vehicles pass by. So say we ever have a supporting element, which is an armored element. We may go in a herringbone, so then the tank can move to the front of the element, support the element as we now moving on towards the objective. So we put the tank at the rear because we're just going towards the RPs to protect the tank, but now we're assaulting a compound, so we're moving that tank to the front of the element. Or it could be a resupply truck But for whatever reason, reason why you're in the herringbone is for a reason. Either it might be something to have a line of sight on the road, or it might be friendly vehicles going down along the road, or just be some different reason. Just don't cross the other side of the road. Because and also when it's time to be called to get back inside the vehicle, you got to get back inside because the convoy is about to move quickly again. So remember that. Never cross the road. Stay on your side of the road whenever these vehicles are in the herringbone. Now I'm about to give you 3 dismount orders. And they are very easily distinguished between the two. The first one is soft dismount. Soft dismount means that everyone but the AR will dismount the vehicle. Give me a second. Everyone but the AR and freight team will dismount the vehicle. Yep, I know, Private Reed. So everyone in the vehicle, but the AR and freight team will dismount the vehicle. So the only people who will be staying in the vehicle would be the driver and the gunner, which is your grenadier and your rifleman. They're the only ones that will stay in the vehicle. Now, in a hard, or also known as combat dismount, the AR, the freight team, and the rifleman will dismount the vehicle. So the only person that will be in the vehicle would be your gunner. The driver will dismount, the passenger will dismount, and your vehicle commander will dismount the vehicle. Then next is full dismount. Full dismount, it means everyone gets out of the vehicle. But keep a note, never leave your vehicle unsecured in a combat zone. Now I'm going to stop real quick. We are going overtime by 10 o'clock. However, there's a lot of major material that we have not covered. So you guys willing to stay on, correct?
Roger, Sergeant.
Yes, Sarge.
Okay. Go ahead and continue. Alright, and like I said, you guys aren't required to stay on, but there's a lot of major material that we still haven't covered yet. So yeah, never leave your vehicle unsecured. And one of the reasons why. Okay, the reason why you don't leave your vehicle unsecured in a combat zone because you got a bunch of... Betsy, you had to answer?
I was going to say that way Op 4 can't jump
yes.
and take off.
Definitely. In your combat zone, remember the word combat. So you know you got some Op 4 enemy people inside this town or some area. So you leave that big unsecured, you'll be like, oh, look at this, stupid Americans. They hop inside the vehicle, get in the gunner seat, and just mow everyone down. So remember, don't leave that vehicle alone. In addition to that, these guys can be smart sometimes. They could take this Vic, take it back to their base, and when they know we're going to a convoy or whatever, they can bring this Vic right behind us. We won't know, and then as soon as we dismount these vehicles, it just mow us down. So that's why you don't leave these vehicles alone. And sometimes some people might just take these parts for scraps and use it for other bad reasons, like using it for IDs. So never leave your vehicle unsecured. Now, in a worst case scenario, if the vehicle is unoperational, like the wheels are broken, and you can't move the vehicle anymore, even though people like us will still use this vehicle even if there's a tire broken. If some way you got to bend the vehicle, you're going to have to put a demo block in the Vic. Because like I said, we don't want to give this vehicle to the friendlies. Or you empty out all the ammo in the vehicle. But however, we're afraid of ricocheting. The ricochet might hit one of us, so we're not going to empty out the ammo inside of the machine gun or the Mark 19. We're just going to go ahead and just put a demo block on the vehicle and blow it up once we're out of range. That's worst case scenario. And you got to radio up that to your higher chain of command for them to approve of that, because they may have some extra spare tires for you to use. And a quick thing as well, soft dismount is only sometimes soft dismount will happen is if the vehicle is stopped for a few minutes. So if we're just the vehicle is just in a short halt for about a few minutes, that's soft dismount. But if we're in a long halt, then it's a hard combat dismount. That's only when the AR fighting mirror and the rifleman dismount the vehicle. Also remember, cut the engine. We're in a hard dismount or a soft dismount, depending on how long we're going to be there. Because that noise can deter us from actually hearing any enemy airframes coming in, any enemy vehicles coming in, or from hearing any sniper fire that we can't hear, but we can hear the pop shots from it. So turn the engine off at times so people can hear. Alright, we'll go over some basic convoy procedures. Very, very easy to remember. I'm going to go ahead and make sure you got that paper pen running. Alright, so your convoy net is going to be 5-0. I'll say it again, 5-0. That's your convoy net. Your job to your job as the driver or the gunner is to basically, or the commander, is basically check in on convoy net, because that's your main way of source talking. But I'm going to stop with that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go something else. To set your long range radio, which is what's inside a vehicle, if you're in it, the only way you can access this is if you're in a driver, commander seat, or gunner seat. To do this, you'll press Alt Papa. That'll bring up your long range radio. Looks like a big old green machine, just like your regular radio. You're gonna type in. So you're gonna do the same way how you enter your frequencies. You're gonna put in, but then you're just gonna clear it out. You put 50. You press enter, 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 how many times you need to make sure that's set. Then you're gonna close off your radio. Then you're gonna press Control Cap Locks. I'll say it again. Control Cap Locks to speak on the long range channel. So to speak on long range, press Control Cap Locks. To speak on your short range radio, you press Cap Locks. Alright, let's go ahead and move on back to what I was saying about convoys. So, we gotta make sure you do your radio checks on the convoy net. So you'll say, any calling station on this net, this is Vic 1, radio check on frequency 50, over. If your convoy commander is already on the net, you'll say, convoy commander, this is Vic vehicle 1, radio check on frequency 50, over. You just make sure you call out your calling station. Alright, move on. So after you say your calling station, stuff like that, you do your radio checks. Sometimes it may be crucial for you you should always put your radio on speaker. This way, the vehicle commander can hear it, your gunner can hear it, and everyone inside of the vehicle can hear what is happening inside the convoy net. Alright, because sometimes what will happen is that gunners and other vehicles will call out infantrymen that we may not be able to see, so sometimes it may be crucial for the squad leader to see it. Now, the fire team leader is assigned to being the actual vehicle commander. So fire team leader would be the one in charge of the vehicle, because his team's in charge of the vehicle, so he's the one that is the vehicle commander. So remember that. Go ahead, move on. Your convoy commander would be basically either your task force commander or somebody. Just a convoy commander would be assigned before the actual operation FTX or whatever, have it. But a convoy commander would be that person who's in charge of these convoys in the whole set. So everyone get what I mean? So everyone get who the convoy commander is, right? He's the one that's in charge of the convoy.
Roger, Sergeant.
So he makes the calls. He's the one that tells you the vehicle speed. He's the one that tells you the space between each vehicle. And then lastly, he's the one that can tell you guys when to halt and when to start moving. Now, you as a driver, you are allowed to put the convoy at halt as if something dangerous you see in the front. Because remember, the convoy commander cannot see it, because the usual convoy commander would be in the center of the convoy. So, if you see an ID in front of the road, you say of your convoy net, this is vehicle 1 performing, doing the herringbone ID on the road. Just try to make it short as possible. Vic 1, herringbone, ID on the road, if you want to do it that way. And you're going to do herringbone left or herringbone right. Now, within herringbones, if the vehicle in front of you does a herringbone left, you're going to do a herringbone right. But if you're the first vehicle, it doesn't matter which herringbone you do, you just do the herringbone. However, you do the opposite of what the vehicle does in front of you. Now, when you're doing the herringbone, don't do a herringbone right next to the vehicle to the right of you. So if the vehicle does a herringbone right, don't just do a herringbone left right next to him. So you see where these two guys are at right now? If that was a vehicle right there, then that's a horrible herringbone. You gotta make sure you're behind the vehicle in front of you in a herringbone. As you see what these guys are doing right now. If you notice that the front is not touching the back. So if we put a line right here, the front of this vehicle is not touching the back. You gotta make sure there's at least spacing so that each guy can get in front of his vehicle and actually get eyes towards out the north, if need be, if they're in the contacts. So if we're getting contacts north, I can see cover behind this vehicle, but at the same time engage contacts to the north. So the vehicle to my direct north is not actually in my field of view. You guys get what I'm saying? That's the reason why we stress about making sure that there's space between the two Vics. Alright. Now, your job as the person, whoever's in charge of that, usually your vehicle commander would be the ones calling out the callouts. But if he's not doing it, then it's up to the driver or the gunner to do these routine checks. I'm sorry. Radio checks and these routine call-ins. Routine call-ins are basically this: the turns. You're the one saying, Vic 1, turn to left, last Vic, turn to left, first Vic, herringbone left, last Vic herringbone right, or whatever. First Vic moving at 30 kph, and then last Vic moving 30 kph. Now, also, you're the one that calls out the speed. You'll say, first Vic adjusting speed to this, yada, yada, yada. And then you'll say, first Vic halting, then last Vic halting. Now, within routine callouts, only people who can speak within the whole convoy net is the first Vic and the last Vic. This shortens out the actual radio communications within that net, clearing it out to where only important calls can be going through. And lastly, this makes the convoy commander know every single thing, and I'm going to tell you why he knows every single thing. If the first Vic says turning left, and then he hears last Vic turning right, then he knows there's something wrong. But if he just hears first Vic turning left, first Vic turning left, first Vic turning left, second Vic turning left, third Vic turning right, then fourth Vic turning left, and then left, then he won't know that someone did something wrong. But then all he hears is just left, and he missed that one right. So the reason why we only have the first Vic and last Vic saying turn right and left, this way he knows that there's something happened at the last vehicle. That's good, I'm saying?
Right, Sarge.
Okay. Also, it cuts out the irrelevant chatter. So you don't need everyone saying taking left, because we'll know that the whole convoy has taken a left turn, because that last Vic said turning left. So now we know the whole convoy has taken the left. That same thing with convoy going. The convoy's on the move, first Vic's moving, and then last Vic's moving. Now we know the whole convoy is moving. Special requirement.
Thank you, Sergeant. With that information in mind, falls on the last Vic, to where if the second or third Vic gets foobarred or makes wrong turns, it's their job to send it up to convoy command and let them know. So the less chatter, the better. Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you, Specialist. Alright, so and ties into I need to say about the vehicle commander. The vehicle commander is basically the person who will be doing your navigation as well. So if you see a vehicle in front of you taking a wrong turn and you're able to take a left, this is where you breach the routine call out. You'll say, hey, second Vic, this is fourth Vic, you're taking a wrong turn. Just like that. Alright, we'll move on towards combat call-ins. So combat call-ins is different to routine call-ins. Combat call-ins basically, let me put in this standpoint. Routine call-ins are mandatory. Routine call-ins are what has control over net. Combat call-ins is what can breach that routine call-in, such as IDs on the road. So if a second Vic sees the ID on the road, if that first Vic did not see, that gunner saw it in that second Vic, he can say, this is Vic 2, ID on the road, do a short halt. That's what the first Vic say, Roger, first Vic, short halt, or whatever. Okay, you guys get what I mean on that part?
Roger, Sergeant.
Also, other parts of combat call-ins can be spot reports, contact reports. It could be other you could say civilian vehicle on the road, enemy vehicle on the road, stuff like that. Yes, special record. We're gonna try to still do it because I don't want to do it. Because it's gonna waste time. All right. So everyone understand what routine call-ins and combat call-ins are.
Roger, Sergeant.
All right. Sectors of fire. In a convoy, it's the same thing with the herringbone right and herringbone left. But I mean, there's something a little bit different with this. The first vehicle in the so say there's 5 vehicles in a convoy. The first vehicle in the convoy is in charge of watch the sector to the front. So that gunner of the first Vic, his turret will be facing to the direct 12 o'clock of the convoy. That second vehicle will have to pick either left or right. Say he picks left. So second vehicle will pick a left, and then the vehicle behind him will have to immediately pick right. Then the fourth Vic will automatically pick left. And that last Vic, which is the fifth Vic, will put his sector of fire will be the rear of the convoy. So everyone get the sectors of the fire?
Roger, Sergeant.
Okay.
Roger.
Some convoy commanders might be a little specific on how they want their stuff done. They might want the first Vic, second Vic having a 45-degree angle to the left and the right, but that's just stuff that we don't do because that wastes time, and then B, we need to get to the objective, so let's not worry about that. Alright, so next thing, in short halts, make sure you leave the engine running, and a long halt, you turn the engine off. Your weapons. Now, as we said, whenever you're in, actually, I'm gonna do this. In a mortar pool, when your vehicles are in base, it should be facing towards the air. Now that you said, Sergeant Smith, I think you just said the turret should never be facing towards the air. You're gonna hit friendly airframes in the mortars. This is different. As you can see, friendly ground vehicles are always in a mortar pool. That's where all the other vehicles are at. It's away from the actual air base or away from the airfield. The mortar pool might be near the airfield, but it's away from the actual airstrip. However, helicopters are on helipads right on the airfield. The center of the airfield are next to hangars. So, of course, you're going to accidentally ND and hit an actual friendly chopper or the wings of the airframe. But when you're in a mortar pool, there's no way in the world your gun turret, if you ND, can hit a friendly airframe if you're in a mortar pool. It's away from the field, unless you're trying to target it, and you're definitely going to get an NJP on that. Or any questions where your weapon should be faced in a friendly base or near a mortar pool?
No charge.
Awesome. So, quick note: these vehicles move the same way, and they maneuver the same way as a regular ground-footed infantryman does. So they move just the same way you guys do. Same way a squad does. They move just like you. We're not saying they're a person, but they move just like you. And I'm going to tell you how the reason why. When a vehicle is moving in the ground, we can actually have a vehicle bound. So there's 5 vehicles in the convoy. 2 vehicles could bound up, and 1 vehicle could be in the rear, which is that 5th Vic. He could be in the rear, providing suppressive fire, supporting those 4 vehicles that are bounding up. That's movement and maneuver. You guys remember that in day 2, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that last vehicle can provide base of fire while those 4 vehicles bound with each other up to the next part. A perfect example of that, I have a recording of it, was when Lieutenant Lewis was still platoon leader of Havoc 1. He did this exact thing in our 4th phase of Operation Crimson Moon when we pushed in and tried to take the objective. So this was we actually did do this in an actual operation. So vehicles do move like in a movement and maneuver. Also, convoys are controlled the same way as infantry squads. They move when ordered, and they communicate movements. So like I said, vehicle 1 is moving. Same when you say Smith is moving. Alright, that's done. Alright, unfortunately we don't have time for you guys to actually go through a simulation of actual vehicles moving. Actual convoy movement. So we're going to go ahead and go, unless Sergeant Margetta made a CQB course, and go back and load in day 2 real quick. Unless he's done that, Sergeant Margetta. Can't hear you if you're talking. Oh, go ahead and follow me, gentlemen. Oh, this house right here? Oh, this is the first sergeant's house, though. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind us touching it. McCoy?
Roger that, Sergeant.
All yours, McCoy.
Alright, let me look the part for
Alright, you two gentlemen go ahead and follow Special McCoy. I'm going to follow in right on him as well. We're going over CQB. This is not mount, just CQB. We're going over the basic fundamentals and procedures.
Alright, so we'll do a quick crash course for overtime here, so just keep in mind this is the most difficult and dangerous part of infantry mission. Oh, I do have the list here. Alright, here we go. So you just want to start with the stack from there, Sergeant?
Yes.
Roger that. Okay, so the first thing you do when you know you're taking contact from a building, you need to clear that structure. So the first thing you're going to do as a fire team is approach it and create a stack at the most optimal entry point. So for this sake, the front door here. So Private Reed, you want to join me on this?
Never.
All right, so first job. You're going to stack up here. The proper SOP for stacking up is the rifleman is in front, followed by the fire team leader, followed by the grenadier, and then the AR is in the back. The AR is generally not a breaching weapon.
Hey, Gillen, fall in with me.
Security. So for this exercise, we'll just say I'm the rifleman here. The first task you're going to do is everyone's going to call set. So the rifleman will say 1 set, the next person 2 set, 3 set, and then the last person always says last man. Last man set, not 4 set. So just remember that. So first.
Yes, we're almost done. We got like 11 more minutes left.
Come on. And the first, what you're going to do first is you're going to call pieing. And this is called slicing the pie. And what you're going to do is you're trying to just get a layout of the room. And see what's in there, see if there's any hostiles in direct view. This is not, you don't want to engage here. This is not where you're engaging. It's just basically a quick recon to know how you're going to move. So you're going to kind of just sneak around, take a peek, and then the rifleman's job is to send information back to the team. So you got an opening going, room opens left, stairway on the left, no contact. And then from there, the fire team leader who's controlling the team is going to decide what kind of breach you're going to use. And there's just breach and clear, which is standard, flash and clear, which is obviously flashbang in, or frag and clear, which is again obvious. Frag grenade goes in. Depending, it's all Met DC dependent. You know, obviously, if there's HVT or civilians around, you do not want to be using a frag grenade, and a flash is preferable. Okay, so once the door is pied, the rifleman's going to call going in, going left, or whatever direction they're going to go. And then the second person calls the opposite direction, and third person follows the same as the first. So it's basically left, right, or right, left, right, left.
Left, right.
It's another scenario where if you're wrong, stay wrong. So say I go in left, and Reed happens to follow me left. That's on the third person to make sure they go right. The last thing you want to do is get all confused, running around like a jackass inside of a house here in CQB. You're going to get everybody killed. All right, so does anybody know what this doorway is called here?
It's a fatal funnel.
That is exactly correct. So the one thing, and this is actually one of the hardest things to force yourself to do, is just keep moving. Do not ever stop in the doorway. Because if you get dropped in the doorway, you know, you effectively blocked entryway into this building. So even if you take contact running in, just keep moving. Just charge at them and unload. So always clear that fatal funnel as fast as possible. For CQB, you always want to be on cyclic fire, so always fully automatic. And never use your alt to look around. Always lead with your barrel. Make sure your weapon's pointing wherever you're looking. You're going to have to make quick movements, and the last thing you want to do is be looking right, and some guy's some guy pop up in front of you when you're not looking down your barrel and swack you. Okay, so once we pied the door here, I guess we'll just start at the beginning here. So say we just pulled up here, 1 set.
3 set.
3 set.
Wow, set.
All right, fine. Short room opens left. Stairwell back left. Breaching, going in, going left.
Going right.
Going left.
Doorway left. I'm pushing forward. Someone cover the stairs.
I got it.
Find this corner. Clear.
On you.
Push in this room. Going in, going right.
Going in, going left. Left's clear.
Exit.
Alright. Can I get somebody on me on stairway?
On you.
Alright, the AR is going to cover the entrance at this point for security.
Alright. Large room, room right, corner left.
So for certain scenarios, you only need 2 people to clear parts of the room, and sometimes even 2 people to clear a smaller building.
Alright.
1 set, ready?
3 set.
Opening door. Pine. Got a hostage in there. Doing a flashbang. Flashbang out. Bang. Going in, going left.
Right.
Left's clear.
Right's clear.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Sergeant.
Alright. Yeah, I didn't want y'all to go.
Where you go? Let's go downstairs.
Alright,
Alright, something someone to point out real quick.
Go ahead, Sergeant.
All right, so whenever you're pieing a door, make sure when you pie it out, come look at me. You're gonna make sure first that your barrel's not sticking out the door, because let's make sure that we value this rifle as much as we can, as it is your penis. So you want your penis to get shot? No, we don't. So you gotta make sure that your rifle is not sticking out the doorway so they can't see it. They're already gonna know that you're breaching the building because you just broke the element surprise. So make sure your rifle's not picking out the doorway if there's no door. When you're pieing, you gotta make sure you don't cross the fatal phone completely. You're gonna cross right here, and you don't see none, you're good. Your job as a point man is to push in and take that left corner because you do not see what's in there. So it might be a guy hiding back there. So it's your job to take, since you're the first man going in, it's your job to take that left corner that you did not see. When you go in the room, you go in and you immediately put your attention to your side. If you're the first two people in the doorway, say if I'm the point man and I say I'm going in and going left, you point your rifle towards the corner. There's nothing there, immediately bring your attention to the center of the room while you're bringing yourself to the corner. If you're that second guy, and I say I'm going left, second guy said he's going in and going right, he immediately puts attention to the center of the room, and then to the corner. And that's what everyone does when you go inside of the room. They immediately put attention to the center of the room, and then to the corner as soon as they cross that doorway. Now, you see there's a door right now, correct? And there's a door covering that wall. Now, if I was very smart, which the enemies we're combating right now aren't smart, I would be hiding behind this doorway. So your corner is immediately go inside this room, check behind this doorway. There's nothing there. Bring your attention back to the front of the room. Now, if you're the third or fourth guy, you're going to come in. You're going to take the center of this room. So you want to come in, and then we'll have Special McCoy go over the rest on that. Continue on. I think Sergeant Marjorie had a comment. So let's go ahead and come in the room. So like I said, the fourth guy would most likely be right here. Let's pretend there's a corner right here. So this right here is a wall. He's going to take this corner. That third guy is going to take the center right here. And then that fourth guy, since he can't get in, because that second man's right here. So this is his corner right here, because his corner is the doorway. That fourth guy would be right here. But if we're breaching in from, say this window is the center, the doorway. First guy right here. Third guy in the center. This is the doorway. Second guy is right here. Now last man will be right here. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. When you get in the room, you do your final sweeps. So these two guys in the corner, before they even say right clear or left clear, they're gonna, once they clear out the corner, they're on the corner, they're gonna sweep to the left center room till they see their second man or their third man, and they're gonna sweep back, and then that side's clear. And that same guy on the other side would do the same thing. But take it to know, like I said, like Special McCoy said, don't stop in the middle of the doorway, because if I get shot and I'm just gonna step right here and start engaging the guy, and I get shot, get wounded. No one else can breach the side of the room, and they can't pull me back in because they're gonna get themselves shot too. All right, sorry for interrupting, guys, so much. Sergeant March, you had anything in Special McCoy?
I got a couple things if Sergeant doesn't.
Nope, go for it.
All right, so just a couple quick notes to remember here. The keys to effectively breaching and clearing. Number one is violence of action and tempo. So, you got to move quick, you got to move smart. Keep your eyes on danger areas. Just use your head. And as far as CQB and breaching goes, it's a matter of fluidity, and it's stuff you get more comfortable with the more you practice. Like you said, it's the most difficult part of what we do.
Those are some good points he is spitting out right now.
You really just
danger areas, such as that stairwell right there,
sure you're moving with
and that open doorway right there.
Covering your danger sections, and if you get mixed up, stay. If you're wrong, stay wrong again. And how we practice it here is the SOP. How you're supposed to do it, but a lot of the times, in actuality, things are just happening so quick. You need to clear that building. You don't have time to do it by the book. But as long as everybody knows the job that you're supposed to do and the job of everyone else, just fill in the blanks. And that's pretty much it for a crash course. It's something you're going to be practicing a lot, particularly if you're an assaulting element in a rifle squad.
Mount.
Thank you, Specialist. Private Vets.
The one thing that we were always taught was first man's never wrong, or first man's always right. So first man goes left.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. That way you kind of keep it going.
Yeah, so sometimes it doesn't matter what they say. You can get easily confused if I say going in, going left, and I go right. It's on the next person to make sure they go left.
Yep. Um,
Oh, I got actually one
Sergeant?
last thing I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
When you're breaching a building like this, never ever run through the middle. Always stick to your wall.
Just about to go over that.
Angle of view. So if you run through the middle, you're exposing yourself and your team. So always stick to the walls, move around the outsides of a room, and you'll be good.
Like Private Reed puts it, your ass is a magnet. Private Ivanovich. I'm sorry, Yanovich.
Yanovich.
Just one comment about the second floor.
We'll go over that soon. Go ahead.
You had a door on the right side, right after you came up on the second floor, and then you had a little, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not a room, but it's like a
corner, corridor, hallway.
Yeah, would you set a guy up on the closed door and like?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other one is going.
Yeah, what would happen
is
the two people
I didn't want to explain it. I'll explain it later.
Determine that the initial area is clear. The second person would then cover the door while the first person continued the breaching movement to the open area in the back. And then they would reconsolidate on that door.
If we're able to, we'll go deeper into that later on, yeah.
Yeah, that's more advanced stuff, like practice.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so two people went upstairs. The first person would keep pushing through. The second person will stack on a door like he's ready to breach, and he'll keep security in case somebody opens the door. Once the first guy that goes in finishes clearing that area, he'll stack up on the second person, and then they'll breach that rope.
What if the door is open already? Then it's a little bit hard.
Still hold security.
What's going to happen is that they're going to have to do a flashbang to allow that team to cross that fatal funnel. But we'll go. I'm going to go some real quick though. I forgot to say the 3 levels of breaching. When the appointment pies the doorway and then moves back to his fire teamer and gives his fire team the reconnaissance that he's gathered, he's gonna. It's up to the fire teamer to judge what kind of breach it is going to be. So 3 breaches are lethal, non-lethal, and then normal breach. The lethal breach means you're throwing in a grenade. That means that all the time you can throw that grenades, we know there's no civilians in this room. So you can throw the grenade because there's contacts that's just shot at you, and you move back to the door, back to your spot, and then you're immediately gonna throw that grenade. The person who's gonna throw that frag is the fire team leader, that second man in the stack. He's throwing it. Now, the second breach, like I said, non-lethal, is your flashbang. Flashbang will be thrown in if you have a enemy in there who did not see you. Like we said, it's not your job to engage. The only time you engage is when they engage you. But if you see an enemy that engaged you, or didn't engage you, but you don't know if there's a civilian there, or you saw a hostage in there, or if you don't know there's contacts in there, you can throw that flashbang in there to temporarily disable the contacts. Like we said in day 1, flashbangs aren't really that much effective against OPFOR, so you're going to go in and hunt thinking that he's not flash. But that's second level breach. Like I said, once again, the second guy is going to throw it. And then the last breach is normal breach. Basically, there's nothing in there from what the appointment say. All he sees is windows and tables and chairs. So then the fire team is just going to say, all right, go ahead and do a normal breach. And then you call in your sets. Once everyone's called in their set, and you say your last been set, that's when the fire team is going to either pull out his frag, his non-lethal, or we're just going to do a normal breach. Now, once that frag or stun grenade gets taken off, that's your cue to breach in. Then you're going to say going and going left. You don't have to wait for everyone else to be ready. On the other hand, if you're just going to normal breach, you say last man set, then you're going to say breaching, going in, going left. This way everyone knows, okay, wait, it's go time. And then what Special McCoy said about danger areas, he's talking about this right here, this stairwell, danger area. This open doorway, danger area. So Private Reed, even though it's automatically when he came in, he immediately, as soon as he swept his sector and everything was clear for him, he immediately put his rifle right at the doorway. I'm sorry, the stairwell. And then Special McCoy, he was this point man. You notice how he immediately put his rifle to this room? Those are danger areas that you'll be pointed at as soon as you clear out this room. Now, once the room is cleared out, the first section of the room, it's on the fire team leader to go ahead and do this is when you reconsolidate, and the fire team leader gives out the next order. What he may do is either leave the auto rifleman outside, or bring the auto rifleman inside to do the breach of the whole room. But in my opinion, I'm gonna leave the Arma rifleman outside to secure the outside of this building. But what's gonna happen is that a team's gonna go ahead and continue and breach this room. Same thing in order: stack up, pie, breach, and then a team will go up this stairwell and breach. Um, so you want to continue on doing this now?
I just got just the final steps, Sergeant.
Yeah, specialist. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's just assume we came in, we breached this building. Building's all clear. When we exit the building, you want to call out how many friendlies are coming out. So in this case, a fire team would be 4 friendlies coming out. We'd exit the building, and then one person would mark the wall on the exterior with green spray paint to indicate to other elements that this building has been cleared.
Thank you, specialist.
That's about it, Sergeant. Thank you.
Okay. And the reason why he said you need to call out how many is our review coming out, and you say coming out because the AR won't shoot you. So you might think it's the enemy trying to run away because they're too scared of us because we're such hard asses. But if the enemy comes out and you don't call out that okay, there's 3 of us coming out, if the AR sees the 4th man coming out, he's gonna immediately mow that guy down. So you might think it's a contact saying, "Oh, I got you now." And he's coming after you and trying to shoot you, but then that AR mills it down. So make sure you give out an accurate count of how many there is of you coming out, so the AR won't mow you guys down. Thanks, Special McCoy.
Say friendlies coming out.
Yeah.
Because you might not have that outside security, and you come running out, and somebody that doesn't know you're in there fucking clearing, and turn around and shoot you.
Yeah, again, all these things are happening, especially Mountain CQB happens really fast. So you gotta keep your wits about you, and situational awareness is key here.
All right. Well, we're trying to pack a lot of information with fucking CQB and Mount.
Because we are limited on time. Yep.
Before we let y'all go, do you, Private Yanovich and Private Betsy, y'all want to go through this course hot and try to clear this building out? Try to rescue the hostages?
Yes.
And you could use your flashbangs as well.
Yes. Everything is fucking
live.
Nothing's off limits. Use it to your discretion. I suggest going over behind these concrete walls.
If you guys want to know how to push up a stairwell, I'll show you after OSUT.
Hey, get everybody back here so nobody fucking dies.
I gotta figure out.
Did you change your keybind for that?
Press left control twice.
Try left control Charlie.
Yeah, that probably might fix it.
Or
yep,
try
do it.
Tap S.
Yep, do it while you're walking too. Should fix it. So just keep trying everything while you're walking, so you can see if it's fixing it. Don't stop, just keep walking.
It stopped me automatically when I.
So yep, walk and then WS. And that makes me walk WS and makes me start moving like that. Is that working? Point your rifle up too, because we don't know if it's fixing. Yep, there you go. Now press Charlie. Is that lowering your rifle? Double tap Charlie. No, that's. Are you tapping control or Charlie?
I'm tapping Charlie, Sergeant.
Okay, Charlie lowers your rifle. That's interesting. All right.
Yeah, so he's stuck in the high ready, that's what's preventing him from toggling jog.
I wonder if something got messed up whenever I.
Maybe it might be control now. Start walking and double tap control. Huh. So C and Charlie. It's a control and Charlie lowers your rifle.
Or Charlie doesn't do anything for me right now, Sergeant.
Okay. Double tap C? Nothing? Keep walking and double tap C?
It doesn't do nothing for me.
I'm gonna figure that out later on then.
Almost done. Give me a second.
Alright. Yeah, I think Sergeant Mario almost done, so we can continue on trying to figure out this. We can continue walking. Let's see. Are you looking at your keybinds right now?
Alright.
Yep, awesome. Alright, I think it's under config here. Control. Excuse me, control. No, it should be common.
Common, Roger.
No, Sergeant Smith is incorrect actually. It's not under common. We know that wasn't me that did.
What the fuck?
I'm going to infantry movement.
Infantry movement.
Yep.
Huh.
Alright, combat pace toggle should be Charlie.
Combat, Roger, 2 times Charlie.
No. Just make it. Okay, that's why. You're under Apex. So click presets.
Yeah. Fuck.
And then click regular armor 3. You should see where it says armor 3. You see it? So you should have select keyboard preset armor 2, armor 3. If you want to keep it, are you used to Apex controls? So I don't want to change it on you like that.
I don't know, Sergeant.
Just leave it at armor 3 Apex. For combat pace toggle, make it regular Charlie. So just delete that and make it C. Let me know once you've done that.
I did that, Sergeant.
Alright. Let's go ahead and scroll it down just a tad bit. Alright, for walk or run toggle, you see it?
Walk or run toggle. Roger, Sergeant.
Yep. WS. So make sure you can select WS at the same time.
WS?
Yeah.
W plus S?
Would it let you do that?
Roger.
Alright. And then do S plus W as well. So put SW.
Roger.
Make sure you're clicking OK and not just hitting escape when you're saving these.
Alright, then press OK.
Okay.
Alright, to here. Let's see what else. That should be good. Let's go ahead and press OK again. Then continue. Let's go ahead and try this. Press Charlie.
I'm hitting Charlie, Sergeant.
WS. Huh.
Not moving.
Alright. It may be some controls, probably just a regular armor 3 reset you need to do. Just gotta restart armor 3 probably.
Yeah, I've seen this. Sometimes I've seen this glitch before where it messes up, but yeah.
I've happened to me too. I don't remember how I fixed it.
It was fine during the first part of the train. I don't know when it really went bad.
Yeah, it did happen to you, Gillen. I remember during the operation.
Don't go in the house. I'm staying outside. I just.
Oh, actually, I just thought of one last thing that is important for CCD.
Yes, Specialist McCoy.
Alright, so make sure Yanovich is here.
Right here.
Alright, so you're clearing a building. Say a member of your fire team gets hit and goes down. Your first instinct is going to be to provide medical attention to them, but at the same time, that's the last thing you want to do in this kind of situation. Your first objective is to clear the structure and then provide medical to that down trooper. Because if you stop and wait, you lose your initiative, you lost your violence action, putting yourself in danger and your teammate in danger by not clearing the house. Because you give the guys upstairs time to figure out what's going on, they're gonna run downstairs and schwack all three of you trying to provide medical. So just put it out of your head, clear the building, and then provide medical afterwards.
And that's for everything. If a friendly gets down from a certain area, don't drop your sector and bandage them up. You need to clear out what it is that's engaging your friendlies and do it immediately. Because what they can do is just throw a frag. I got a guy down over there, and I know if the guys will try to get him up. It's their brothers. They always say they're brothers. I'm going to throw a grenade over there. So they're going to automatically throw a grenade at you or try to fix that location. So push with your aggression, clear out the area, so then the medic have a safe place to bandage up your friendly. So that's an excellent point. Thank you, Special McCoy.
Please, sir.
So we just wait on standby for Sergeant Margiotta.
Yep, I'm ready.
Alright, Jimmy, go ahead and stack up. Let's just basically be a two-man breach.
Fucking locked and loaded.
Just send in the 2 privates, right?
Yep.
Good luck, gentlemen. It's gonna be rough with that walking, but.
Make sure you have your flashbang. So press 6 to cycle through them, and please don't throw them right now. Don't want an ND. Like I said, the appointment shouldn't be the one that's throwing the flash. Oh, that door is open.
Well, there's only 2 of them in this case, so.
Ready,
Have
Yanovich?
to wing it.
Ready?
Remember, communication is key.
Tango.
Front. Down 4, down.
I think I'm getting lag.
Where are you taking shots from? Front. I got it. He's on the first floor. He's down.
There we go.
He's
I'm
down.
back. Dang, I just got a shit ton of lag. Sorry about that. All right, ready?
No problem. Yeah.
Moving the door.
Checking second floor.
Reloading.
Covering second floor.
Stack on me at door.
Stacking.
Tying corner. Alright, going in, going left.
Right.
I got door left. Staircase left. Reloading.
Oh, I forgot to point out. They need to gotta go on full automatic.
I told him.
They do it
Okay.
Tying right. Entering right. I got back entrance. This back room's clear. Stacking on you on stairs.
It's funny watching him walk.
Alright, here, you're the AR here. I'll go upstairs first. That way you're not turning with that big. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll try and help him after this. I was gonna help Munson with recruit training if he needs it anyway.
We got door right.
Wow.
What happened?
Yeah, he just got lucky.
They went across the federal fund.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, doing bad.
Alright,
Fine. I got
Oh, nice. You can watch this on.
Let's see.
flashbang this room.
Alright, let's see. Are they gonna fucking flash this?
I got you.
They should.
Alright, turn away. Don't
Yep, flashing it. Good job.
He tried, and he made sure. Yeah, he saw what he did. He shot and stopped.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. You have to
Oh,
fucking
just the two of them, and we had to make sure that
bad
there was.
guys before they
Yeah,
got him.
he had to hold the
Building
stairs so
clear.
that no one could be able to run out on them.
Copy.
2 friendlies moving out with 1 civilian hostage.
Roger, cable tie him and bring him outside.
Alright, yeah, they didn't do bad.
No, they didn't do bad. Just little tiny errors.
Couple of places where they stopped and probably in the doorway.
They got to
Like,
fan out
right
as well.
in the doorway, but no, I mean, they shot first before they got shot, so fucking successful.
I mean, this shit is so like 7
Yep.
out of 10 of our squad trainers
Yep.
are CQB like this.
Alright, let's come on over.
9 out of 10 of our experienced people came and do this correctly. They did better than them.
It's tough. Munson, I will say Sergeant Munson is
But yeah, yeah.
really good at this.
Sergeant Munson likes to go over that a lot.
Yeah, he's pro.
They won't let me do anything on him other than tap his shoulder.
We can cuff him, we can only tap his shoulder.
That's fine.
That's fine,
Just come out here. It's probably because you guys didn't have cable ties. Go ahead.
Roger.
We got
Run
cable
out.
ties, but it doesn't make us. Yeah, doesn't allow us.
It's because you should have kept him where he was already tied. There we go.
Oh, Roger.
How did you do that?
Windows T key. We'll show you that later after we finish everything. This is Stram Bopulus.
That's
The-
a fucking name.
So, I'm not gonna bust your balls too much. Y'all went through. I don't think any of y'all got shot, got close. You killed the OPFOR before they got you. Couple spots was sloppy, but like I said, I'm not gonna bust your balls.
Walking.
Yeah. Just remember when you're going into CQB like that, go full auto.
How
I forgot to do that. I forgot to
Yeah,
do that until
yeah, I mean-
halfway, Sergeant.
You know, probably Yanovich doesn't.
Yeah,
have
we
it.
don't fight fair.
I liked that you realized that you almost got the hostage, Yanovich, but you pulled away at the last second, and
I was trying to go around the hostage, so I couldn't shoot him.
Yeah,
Right,
it was in a comment. It was excellent trigger control. Good job.
Yeah, you put off about 3 or 4 rounds into the bed, right past the hostage's head.
That bed was fucked.
And just watch that because you did get lucky. He did get flashed.
What do you say when you have a hostage, or you just have a civilian inside, or
Yeah, you just say civilian.
Yeah.
Make it short.
Yeah, so that was a little tricky. That's kind of an asshole move, dick move to put the hostage in front as a human shield.
Yeah, they always do that.
But yeah, just remember that they don't always get flashed. So you took a big risk running in. So, but all in all, y'all did well. Y'all killed them. They didn't kill you. So, good job.
Fan out when you're pawing the doorway. Something I gotta say. And when you're breaching with 4 guys, then you don't worry about breaching in and clearing out stuff by yourself, like what you did when you clear out that little corner. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you that because Ayanovich had to make sure he cleared out that watch that stairwell because he didn't want anybody coming up from your rear, and that was a good call. So but using a 4-man breach, there will be a guy with you clearing out that tiny corridor over there, and then I didn't see you guys stop on the stairwell unless I was incorrect. But that's a smart thing, and I'll show you guys later on if you want to stay on. I'll show you how to actually push the stairwell. But everything was good. You guys did a good job, and because Sergeant Mark here pointed out everything. All right, so McCullough, he was a prisoner that escaped from jail, and these guys were held him captive because stuff like that. So we don't want to let him go. All right, so Thursday will be your day 4. Where you get to finally encompass everything we've taught you in day 1, 2, and today. So you'll be able to actually board into a friendly chopper unless we actually do a different operation. You're able to show us that you know how to dismount, mount up, use your radios for communication, you know how to shoot your rifles, use your AT. And then lastly, you can show us that you know how to do movement and maneuver. So day 4 will be encompassing your FTX and your graduation. So you need to do your FTX. If your whole team or your whole squad does not die throughout the whole FTX, then you just finally completed half of that portion. After your FTX, before your graduation, we'll be going over your oral quiz. And like I said before, it is a win or lose situation. So if you get the question incorrectly, the first question, you automatically recycle to OSUT day 1. But if it was a easy question, you got it wrong, you'll be recycled to recruit training. So, studying your notes.
Yes, everybody here had quiz. Nothing new.
Yep, especially me.
If you want me to quiz you on some OSUT note shit, let me know. I'll be happy to do that for you.
Don't use none of the questions that we've said to you, McCoy.
No, of course not.
Yeah, we quizzed you like 5 times. We gave you like 5 questions. He thought he was a smart ass during his OSUT day. Just kidding. All right, so.
Got them all right though. So.
All right, we'll move on. Y'all got any questions for us?
Just a comment. I think you are. I don't know what's wrong with your beds, but you gotta check yourself.
What?
That was from the flashbang.
Are you talking about the little wheezing thing?
Yeah, like he's dying.
Oh, that's a little glitch.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something with the
It happened whenever the flashbang went off.
All right, that's it.
Let's get these guys.
Yes, you guys are dismissed. We'll see you on Thursday. Try to be punctual, so be 30 minutes here on time early.
Copy,
Sergeant.
So we get you loaded in and fix anything else. Do you guys want to see how to breach stairwell?
Yes, Sergeant.
I'll show you real quick.
I got it a second.
Since we're fucking not official, right? You don't like my fucking house? Fucking decorated pretty nice.
Oh, this is the first sergeant house. Look just like. All right, so usually you have your laser in your full auto. What you're gonna do is that when you push the stairwell, sometimes if the stairwell is designed in a certain way, like there's like an office building, you're gonna have a person actually watching the top of the stairwell from this location. You see what I'm looking at? So come over here. You can see the actual top of the stairwell.
Yeah, Zeus.
So if you have like 3 people breaching. You see how you can see the top stairwell, correct?
Roger,
Holy
Sergeant.
shit.
All right. So what's gonna happen is that okay. So let's say that there are men right here. So pretend you guys are two people. So come follow me. So that guy's watching the top stairwell. So your job is to push up the stairwell, look behind you, make sure there's no one on top of this roof access, and then continue upstairs and look to your right. But all this is happening while you continue. So you're not gonna stop at the stairwell. You're gonna continue moving. So let me show you it again real quick.
All right.
So
I'll get into it. I'm just I'm leaving.
okay.
It's all yours. Y'all did good, gentlemen. I'll see y'all on Thursday.
Cool, Sergeant. Thank
Work. Ass early in the morning. All right. Yep.
I'll see you later, Sergeant. All right, go upstairs so you can see how I'm doing it if you want to. And like I said, it's not obligation, guys. So you could disconnect if you want to. So if you look, so look how I do it. Like, so since someone's watching top stairs, I'm pushing up. I'm looking to my left, to the side.
They're eager to learn, and they don't.
I'm going across like this. Now, if this doorway is open like this, what's gonna happen is that that first guy, he's gonna stop here and hold this doorway. Now, you have a danger area open to your left, so what's going to happen is that you're going to have to radio that to your team leader so then he can send up another man up here to help you breach this room and breach the room to your left. Or you could just close the door and then continue on. So yeah, there's
the element of surprise now.
they already know you're breaching. As soon as that first bullet go out and that flashbang, bang bang, they know you're in here.
Alright.
Yep. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Because you're gonna be breaching some buildings with stairs on it.
Alright.
So yeah, you will be breaching buildings with stairs on it. So then that's why I wanted to make sure you guys knew how to actually breach a stairwell. You immediately push your attention to the balcony, but they're always gonna try to shoot you from your back. They're cowards. So you push your attention to the balcony, and then immediately you start pining around because you already know that your friendly's watching the top of the stairwell right here, so you don't have to worry about that.
Copy that.
And the job of the fire teamer is basically to give out orders when breaching out this building. So the fire teamer will be saying, "Hey, someone watch right here. Someone watch the top stairwell from this corner. All right, team 2, breach this building, watch stairwells like that. It's all based off team leader. You guys could disconnect if you want to now. And Bets, you're free to stay on if you need to continue fixing your stuff.
Brother Sergeant, I'm gonna go ahead and take my dog out and head to bed because I gotta wake up early.
Yeah, you could disconnect. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, just try. Don't log into. Just message me so I can give you a server to log into. Because I don't want you to log into the official server.
Roger, Sergeant.
Thank you,
All right.
Sarge.
You're welcome. I'll log off.
Alright, I'm gonna send myself back to base here. You guys need a TP back, or are you just logging out?
Yeah, I'll probably wind up logging off.
Roger that. Oh, there we go. Alright, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night. People fail this quiz often, Sergeant?